Athletics helps foster academic achievement, leadership, community engagement, and pride. The Rustler Athletics mission is to help student athletes compete at the highest level in their chosen sport and help them build a foundation for a successful life after competition. A $100 donation to the Rustler 500 Reverse Raffle not only gets you a chance of winning part of $15,000, but also helps make a difference in the lives of CWC student athletes. The last ticket selected will win $10,000, but all money raised helps our athletes win. Check rustlerathletics.com for details, and thanks for helping out, Rustler Nation.
Peter and his mischievous fairy sidekick Tinkerbell visit the nursery of the Darling Children late one night, and with a sprinkle of pixie dust, begin a magical journey across the stars that none of them will ever forget. In the adventure of a lifetime, the travellers come face to face with a ticking crocodile, and of course the villainous Captain Hook. Don't miss Central Wyoming College's production of Peter Pan, with performances starting March 14th through March 23rd. Contact the CWC box office for showtimes and information, or go to cwc.edu.
This is Rustler Basketball.
One-on-one, right-hand hook is good, and the Rustlers have their first lead on the fifth-ranked team in the country. Driving Marbury kicks it out. Jaden Warren high, arcing triple is good. De La Cruz, though, in the corner for three is good.
Rustler Basketball from Rustler Media is brought to you in part by Porter's Mountain View Supply, Buckle Up for Life, Wyoming, Bailey Enterprises, and Fremont Chevy of Riverton. Also by Admiral Beverage and Pepsi Cola, Fremont Therapy, Myers Gambles, County 10, the Sutherland Lumber Company, Wind River Cares, Gales Carpet One, and Altitude Home Interiors. And by the Wind River Casino.
Nice give and go. Engelland's up it, and Engel with the jam. And the Rustlers are up by one.
Now to Rustler Gym for the Porter's Tailgate pregame show. Here's John Gabrielson.
Playoff basketball on a Saturday afternoon from Rustler Gymnasium. Good afternoon. I'm John Gabrielson, alongside my broadcast partner, Joel Kindle. And it's been a while. I mean, and it's only been in the course of what would normally be a week and 2 days off, but it's felt like forever since we have seen the Rustlers play.
It really has, and in a game that's as important as all the other games combined.
Yeah, exactly. This one is win or be done, basically. And it's a dangerous team. There's no easy out in the first round of Region 9 basketball. Maybe, and I hate
say
to
the Gillette game, I think, might be.
Well, Gillette got the bye already.
Okay, I'm sorry, Casper College.
Casper in Eastern Wyoming may be the only exception, but I think that LCCC Western is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
And I think this one right here is going to be a dogfight between these two schools.
Well, they split this year, so that says something right there.
Exactly. 34th meeting in the modern era. Northwest leads at 18-15. In the last 11, it's 6-5. Central's won 2 of the last 3 here on the home floor, winning the last one 75-70, but losing at Northwest 106-79. So it's just kind of a tough read to get what you're going to expect here in this game today.
I will say one thing I do expect, some trouble for Northwest, because you look at them, they are such a different team at home than they are on the road. In fact, I actually did some checking on that today, and at home they were 10-6 on the year. On the road they were they say they're 11-6, but I don't count the alumni game, I'm sorry, which they do. But on the way 2-8. So look at that. So their record is a losing record overall, 13-17, but at home, 10-6.
Second meeting in the postseason between these two. First time 2018. Jack Nelson, the head coach of Central, they won 78-75. Speaking of head coaches, former CWC head coach Curtis Conde is in the house. His son Preston at the free throw line right now, playing for the Northwest Trappers, getting some warm-up in. And Curtis coming back to Riverton for the first time in a while, and watching his son play on the visiting side of the bench.
I've had a chance to visit with him a bit before the game. Did you as well? Or?
Very briefly. He and I kind of keep in contact every now and then.
That's true.
And have some thoughts on things there.
Well, he used to accompany guest on a radio show way back when. Yeah, people forget about that.
The 80s at 8 and everything else. It's the second year in a row hosting for Central. They lost last year to Western, and that was a weird anomaly because they beat Western in the final game of the regular season at home, and then a week later lose to Western in the play-in game, and their season was done.
I think that's weird how that happens, and we had that with a couple of games last year, I thought, didn't we? We had, I think, with another one.
The women with Northwest a couple of years ago, and then the women, I think, with LCCC a couple of years ago. The Wyoming Cowboys do it. They play Fresno State today. They'll play them again Wednesday in the Mountain West.
Well, Texas plays Oklahoma today. We'll probably play them next in the tournament.
Yeah, and this is the Porter's MVS pregame show brought to you by Porter's Mountain View Supply. Appreciate them and their sponsorship of the pregames all season long on our final broadcast of the year from Rustler Gymnasium. The Northwest Trappers checking in at 13-17, 4-8 in Region 9. They lost the coin toss and end up the number 6 seed to Western Wyoming, who gets the number 5. And Western went to Cheyenne.
It almost makes sense in a way because Western did have the better overall record, I believe. So
and then Northwest gets to come here. Central 16-14, 7-5 in Region 9. One of those losses came to Northwest College. Coming up on your Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show, we're going to talk with head coach Brad Schmidt, and we've also got to look at some other goings-on in games today. We'll do that after this timeout. This is your Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show from Rustler Media.
Rustler Sports On Air are brought to you in part by Porter's Supply of Riverton, offering grills, spas, fire pits, gas stoves, wood-burning stoves, and Green Mountain pellets. They are located at 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton. Details can be found online at portersmvs.com. Thanks to Porter's Supply for the sponsorship of tonight's pregame show.
At Fremont Chevy in Riverton, being in the community isn't just how we do business, it's our way of life. We think of our team, our customers, and our local community as one big family. For us, being community partners is more than just a source of great pride. It gives us a deep sense of responsibility. We are excited to bring you the scoreboard for Rustler Athletics on Rustler Media. See Fremont Chevy online and at North Federal Boulevard in Riverton.
Family on me. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Driving Marbury kicks it out. Jaden Warren high arcing. Triple is gone.
Back on our Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show, talking with head coach Brad Schmidt. And, we talked earlier in the week about how it's been 9-10 days since you guys played last, and fine line between getting too amped up too early and too nonchalant, staying in shape, all of that. How has the week of practice gone leading up to today?
It's been weird, man. It's started Monday, we only had 9 guys, so early in the week we were down, we couldn't even go 5-on-5, and then just pacing the guys to get ready to play on Saturday when they've had so much time off. We've been at it with each other for 6.5 months. There's not much I can say to motivate the guys or get them going. Reality is, if we're going to win the game today, it's going to take the 10 guys that are dressed out and them guys playing together and playing for each other.
With that said, third time around, and there's all the cliches, hard to beat a team 3 times, hard to beat a team once, but when it's been a split like this and each team has won on their home floor, who's the psyche advantage go to, or does that even matter at this point right now?
I just said it. I'm a true believer in this time of year, any team that makes a postseason run, it comes down to the guys. Because early in the year, as a head coach and stuff, you're setting the tone of the program, you're building culture, you're trying to get all the guys to buy into what you're doing as a coach. Well, at this time of year, these guys know who I am, what I'm about, what our program is about. It's just, do they want to keep playing together and having a sense of urgency as we take the floor against Northwest? And then to flip-flop that, Northwest is in the same situation, It's like, are those guys wore out? They haven't had a ton of success on the road. Or are they going to find some mojo and play better on the road? I don't know. And that's why they throw the ball up and weird things happen in March. And, hopefully my guys play well for 40 minutes and we can get a W.
What's on the whiteboard? How do you attack this team differently? How do you defend this team differently now that it's the third time around and you've seen them twice?
Well, I think the big thing, John, that has been a concern over the last couple weeks, even the game that we played against Northwest, is offensively we just haven't been great. You know, we haven't been as efficient as we were the first probably 20 to 25 games of the year. Now we're guarding better and we're rebounding better and we're doing some things that, you know, still keep us in games and keep us competitive. But I hope we get some of our offensive flow back and start making shots again and, you know, and playing like we have when we've had a lot of success. So we'll see. And, you know, and we gotta stop Hayes. You know, Hayes is one of the better players in Region 9, and, you know, they got good pieces all around. They really embody what I've always wanted to do, is playing like a team, playing for each other, where they don't really have a guy that you're just like, whoa, that dude's amazing. But the better team's going to come out, and hopefully that's us.
Injuries, illness, everything hopefully staying away from most everybody?
Maraboto has been banged up a little bit this week. He was the guy that's been out. I don't know if he'll play today or not. We'll see how he is as he gets into warm-ups. But the other nine guys are all ready to go.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. Thanks, John.
All right. Appreciate it. Best of luck. We'll talk to you when it's over.
Sounds good.
Head coach Brad Schmidt of the CWC Rustlers. Stay with us. Your starting lineups and the tip-off of the Region 9 playoffs. First round from Central Wyoming College, Northwest and Central. Right after this from Rustler Media.
All right, Pepsi-loving football fans, it's time we had a lesson in trash talk. You heard that right, trash talk. And I'm not talking about that stuff that happens on the field. What I'm talking about is trash, like literal trash. And it's the only thing that belongs in your garbage can. No, recycling might not be as thrilling as converting a 4th and long or taking a kickoff to the house. But I think we can all agree Hail Marrying plastic bottles into the recycling bin gets pretty close. And let's be honest, your spiral could use some work. So next time you're thinking about throwing that Pepsi Zero Sugar bottle away, just cap it back up and pretend you're down by 6 with the recycling bin wide open. Know the difference? Make a difference. Be a team player and recycle. Visit PepsiTrashTalk.com to learn more.
Don't miss your chance to win $10,000. And support Rustler Athletics. The Rustler 500 is coming.
April 5th, the Rustler 500 coming. Your chance to help CWC Athletics scholarships. And a couple of notes before I get into starting lineups. A couple of games were played yesterday on the women's side. 3 of them, in fact. And it was Western Nebraska defeating Trinidad State. Trinidad State finishes the year 0-28, unfortunately, in the women's.
I guess we kind of know what that was sort of like in a way.
On their women's side, they were beaten 100-51 yesterday. LCCC gave Eastern Wyoming a game down the stretch. Eastern hits free throws, wins the game 72-66. And it was Northwest defeating Gillette. Excuse me, vice versa. Gillette winning. Gillette went from being in danger of not playing at all to hosting a first-round playoff game to winning yesterday 85-68. Last time they played,
a 17-point win.
Yeah, it was a 1-point game a week ago, 6 days in fact, and then they go out and they win 85-68 yesterday.
Remember, they had a pretty good record very early in the season. I'm not really sure who they were playing, and then they got to Region 9 and not so good. But
they went from almost not being in the top 6, not competing anymore, to now going on to the Region 9 tournament in Casper.
A pretty good capper to their season in itself right there.
Men's games today, Trinidad as at Lamar. I've got queued up on the scoreboard. I'll keep you up to date on that one. Western is at LCCC in Cheyenne at Story Gym. I'll keep you up to date on that. And then you can go home and watch for yourself. Eastern Wyoming at Casper. They'll play at 4 this afternoon in Region 9. First round play-in games. Casper has won the division in the women's side for the 7th consecutive year, and they will host the Region 9 women's tournament this upcoming next weekend. And then on the men's side, Western Nebraska eclipsed Trinidad State, and it'll be at the Cougar Palace in Scotch Bluff for the men's side.
One thing I got to say already, John, there's a pretty good contingent of Northwest fans here for this game this afternoon.
They've been here early. To say the least, they have been here early. Taking a look at your starting lineups on your Porter's Mountain View Supply pregame show. It is for the CWC Rustlers and head coach Brad Schmidt in his 6th season, assisted by Mike Newman. We'll start like this. Wearing number 2 is a 5'10 sophomore out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. He has had double figures in his last 6 games, 19 twice. He is 3rd in steals in Region 9 North. That is the point guard. Lawrence De La Cruz. Wearing number 4, a 6'2 sophomore, averaging 3 points, 2 rebounds per ball game. He is out of Phoenix, Arizona. Bella Vista Prep had a career high of 8 points on the last time on the home floor against Casper. And that is Jaden Warren. De La Cruz, by the way, averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds at the point guard position. De La Cruz and Warren. Wearing number 10, the number 1 three-point shooter percentage-wise in Region 9 North. He is a 6-foot freshman out of Sacramento, California, averaging 15 points and 3 rebounds per ball game. Season high of 31 for King Solomon. Wearing number 11, a 6'6 freshman, leading scorer in Region 9. He's 4th in three-point percentage. Had a 42-point game earlier this year, averaging 19.7 rebounds per ball game. From Cleveland, Ohio is Sam Marbury. And wearing number 20, the 6'10 sophomore from down low from Phoenix, Arizona, averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds. 3rd in blocks in Region 9 is Julian Roberts. De La Cruz, Warren, Solomon, Marbury, Roberts for the Orange and Black.
You know, you could have recorded that some time ago, just other than just details, just played that each time.
Updated the stats every now and then, absolutely. And much the same, although Coach Andy Ward, in his 26th season as his head coach, he is in his 2nd stint at Northwest. He was a finalist. He was one of 3 finalists when CWC brought back basketball. He and Jamie Stevens and another.
I did not know that.
Were the finalists, and he was a finalist at LCCC that year and a finalist at Northwest that year, and took the Northwest position. And Jamie Stevens came back and started basketball back up at CWC that same exact year.
Assistant coach at a 4-year college.
Andy Ward has been battling a couple of ankle injuries. Will Hemme, his floor general, the point guard, and then also Colin Hayes, who has been battling an ankle. Neither one played against Gillette. Hayes will not start today. I talked with him before the game. He and Teshi Thong are good friends with my son, who attends Northwest College, and they hang out together. And went and introduced myself and said hello, and I said, Colin, how's the ankle? And he just looks at me and he said, it's fine. He's not starting, and I don't think it's fine, but he'll tell you that it's fine to go out there and play. So this is what your starting lineups look like for the Trappers, and then we'll get a national anthem coming up here in just a few minutes. But Milton Rodriguez Santana, he wears number 0. He's a 6'2 sophomore out of the Dominican Republic, averaging 11 and 4. Will Hemme will start after not playing against Gillette. The 6'1 sophomore from Fort Collins averages 10 and 5. They've cut the timer a little short. We'll give you the national anthem in person. We'll come back after this on radio.
Winter driving in Wyoming requires a light touch and a cautious approach. This is Cody Beers with WYDOT. Think about these winter driving tips. It takes extra time to slow down or stop on slick roads. Try to avoid using your cruise control when road conditions are slick. Drive at appropriate speeds in the winter. Are you in that big of a hurry? If you encounter poor visibility, such as a ground blizzard or snowstorm, slow down. Slow down for your safety and mine. If you don't have to go, don't. And please, buckle up.
This broadcast comes to you in part by Fremont Therapy. They offer physical, occupational, and sports therapy in Lander, Riverton, Rawlins, and Green River, Wyoming.
Appreciate you tuning in on RustlerAthletics.com on the YouTube channel. I'm John Gabrielson. He's Joel Kindle. Let's continue our starting lineups. Milton Rodriguez Santana, the 6'2 sophomore. Wearing number 1, the point guard, is Will Hemme, a 6'1 sophomore from Fort Collins. Number 2 in assists in Region 9 behind Jaden Witterwatts of Gillette. Wearing number 15, getting the start tonight from Parowan, Utah, is a 6'4 freshman, Cruz Stubbs, as he'll start in place of Colin Hayes tonight.
Does not have hardly any stats, really,
exactly.
On the year.
And number 21, playing bigger than he is, talked with his dad. He came up and said, thanks for the broadcast and thanks for the compliment. Coulter Merritt out of Star Valley, 13 points, 9 rebounds. He is the number 1 rebounder, tied with EJ from Casper at 8.6.
He's a guard.
Yeah, he's 6'1". And then number 22 is a 6'6 freshman out of Fort Collins, 9.6 rebounds is Drew Larson. But you'll see plenty, I hope, of Colin Hayes on that injured ankle. The 6'6 freshman out of Fort Collins, averaging 15 points. He scored 25 last time against CWC. He had 42 in a game earlier this year against Casper. And again, not getting the start tonight. The Rustlers in their home white uniforms, the orange numbers and the black trim. On the other side, the Trappers in their road blacks, red numerals and white trim. And Central will go right to left. And Central going to put Roberts into the midcourt circle against the 6'1 Coulter Merritt. And you're thinking 6'9", 10, 6'10 against 6'1. This is no contest, and it ends up being...
it wasn't much of a contest.
Right, controlled by Central, and the Rustlers will have the first opportunity at it. Hemi is guarding De La Cruz. Give the ball to Solomon with Rodriguez Santana on him. Marbury, right side, 17 is good to start things off.
And if that's the start that he has to be the pretender of other things coming up, that's a big sign for CWC.
Stubbs thought about a three, does not, gives it back to the point guard, Hemi. Again, he did not play Saturday, got a bad wheel as well. Merritt back to Hemi. 10 to shoot, Rustlers in the man-to-man. Warren out there on a switch. Stubbs, triple is no good, but how about that? First rebound of the game to you-know-who, Coulter Merritt. Driving and missing. And a rebound by Julian Roberts. Rustlers get a stop, albeit they gave him two chances on the one end of the floor. Warren right side, triple is no good, and run down the rebound by Coulter Merritt. 2 boards already for the Region 9 top rebounder. Minute 15 gone by on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Stubbs shovels it to Merritt. Hands it back to Santana. Central was going to play a little bit different defensively today. Right side, Merritt with 5 on the shot clock is no good, but another offensive rebound, and that one is put back in by Drew Larson. Boy, 3 rebounds already to just 1 for Central. 2 on the offensive glass for the Trappers.
That has been a problem off and on through the year, really rebounding.
Well, and they got out-rebounded by 19 at Casper, and yet still won by 2 in that game. Yeah. So it's been weird as Merritt trying to defend Marbury, had hands all over him. Sam runs past him, lays it up and in. We played 2 minutes on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. 4-2 Central out in front. Larson drives, low block, leans in, scoop with the right hand, and he missed it.
When he thought it was in, you could see he was retreating after he let it go.
Marbury with his first board of the afternoon. Solomon trying to get free, can't. De La Cruz back out to Marbury. His triple is no good, and saving it off the leg. Oh, I thought he saved it off the leg of Julian Roberts, but he does not.
I was wondering if he was already out of bounds when he tried to save it, is what I was curious to know.
Central team rebound, essentially. Big thanks to Porter's Mountain View Supply. They've been our pregame sponsor all year long. And also big thanks to Amanda Nikoloff and the new media crew. Nice lob underneath. Roberts with a left hand over Larson, puts it up and in. His first basket of the contest. Rustlers with a 6-2 advantage. And you wonder how long it will be before you do see Colin Hayes come into this ball game for Coach Ward. Larson, right side triple is nothing but the bottom of the net. Cuts the lead to 1. He's got all 5 of the Trapper points in the early going.
Practically the way they list their starting lineup, the 5 starters are all listed as guards, as is Hayes.
Solomon on the other side, showing you why he's 45% in tops of the Region 9 in three-point shooting. And there's a steal by Marbury, our first turnover of the basketball game. And here comes Colin Hayes on the next dead ball. Marbury travels with the basketball, and the turnover will give it right back. So here comes Colin Hayes checking into the contest for the Trappers, the 6'6 freshman out of Fort Collins. 15 points, 4 rebounds per ball game. He's an 80% free throw shooter. He'll check in for Crew Stubbs, who got the first 3.5 minutes of the basketball game.
One of the 3 Fort Collins players on this roster.
driving. Hemme has it stolen from behind. He'll get it back, however. He'll go low block, kick it back up top. Larson, he made one from there a minute ago. Does not get that one to fall in. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to go Central basketball. Good hustle by Jaden Warren. Battling in the low block for that. 9-5 Central. 4 minutes gone by as you see Coach Schmidt and Coach Newman and the rest of the Rustler bench down to basically subs here today.
Stubbs is on the other team.
Yes.
I didn't realize he had 2 other players with him.
That's where I got that, is driving the lane is a nice run by De La Cruz, and he will be fouled by Colter Merritt, number 1 on the former Star Valley Brave. His alma mater was beaten in the semifinals yesterday.
I want to explain the 3 subs there for a second.
Free throw by De La Cruz is good. Sal Dugamoroboto battling an injury, not dressed out today, so there are actually 4 subs. Lucas had his shirt on still, so there are 4 subs, not 3. As De La
Lucas
Cruz
coming off a big game as well.
Yeah, he had a very big game.
His career high, it has to have been.
It is 18 at Gillette last week is his career high as a Rustler. Hayes, nice wraparound pass. Santana will get the easy dish on a great pass from Colin Hayes. 11-7. Marbury on Hayes defensively. I guess defensively is on him. Marbury, baseline, good on the low block.
That was really good defense on him, too, as he got that one to go.
Good defense, but better offense. More crowds starting to trickle into Rustler Gym here on a Saturday afternoon as we're just underway. Larson with a left hand. It rolls out, and the rebound by Roberts. Second board of the game for Julian. We've played almost 5 minutes. Julian gets 3. Right side layup with a left hand. He's going to get fouled. And it's going to be on Merritt. That's 2 on Colter Merritt. And in the first 5 minutes of the ball game, those are 2 pretty big quick fouls, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, they're a very guard-heavy team, and he has to play big because of that.
He's going to come out after this free throw. Preston Conde will check in. Again, the son of Curtis Conde, former Central Wyoming College coach, as Roberts misses the first. Preston, a 6'5 freshman out of Price, Utah. 5 points, 2 rebounds per ball game. So Merritt is not the one that comes out, however. It's Drew Larson that comes out, and for good reason, because the foul was on him, not on Colter. So 1 on Drew, 1 on Colter. My apologies on that one. Roberts' second one is no good.
That's unusual. He's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Missed them both. Santana the rebound. Hemme. High right side elbow, Conde. Driving Santana. He'll put it up and miss it. Boy, bodies fly. Merritt, though, ends up with the rebound. And underneath, Merritt, and he's fouled.
Nice fake. Gave him some time and some space, both.
Central foul is on Roberts as we got some Rustler subs got in on that last free throw as Tay Hollins has come in, Lucas Engel has come in, and Bradley Beeman has entered the lineup for Central. Merritt at the line for the and one. It's 13-9. Central out in front. Their biggest lead has been 6. And it's down to 3. Merritt has 3. Larson has 5. Santana has a bucket. 13-10. Minute away from the first media break of the afternoon. De La Cruz hands it off to Tay Hollins. Engel at the top, guarded by Conde. Beeman drives back up top. De La Cruz, long triple on the way is no good, and Merritt gobbles up the rebound. 4th rebound of the game already for Merritt as he'll attack Engel, who blocks him out of bounds. It'll stay Northwest basketball. Good job by Lucas Engel.
Still think that was a good idea as the lane had opened up somewhat.
Hemme finds Hayes. He's got a mismatch as he'll just shoot it over the top of De La Cruz and score it. 6'6" Hayes over the top of De La Cruz, and it's a 1-point ball game. 10 seconds away from our first media break. Engel gets knocked to the ground, and Marbury ends up throwing it away because he was throwing it to where Engel was going. And now Northwest will throw it away, and we'll get the media timeout.
Kind of played croquet with the ball at that end.
Went off of a Rustler, though. It will stay Trapper basketball. 14 minutes left to play. First half, Central 13, Northwest 12. We'll be back after this. Region 9, first round play-in game. We'll get to scores of the other games right after this.
Bailey Enterprises is a supporter of CWC athletic broadcasts. Bailey's operates Pit Stop Travel Centers, Bailey Tire and Auto Service, Bailey Oil Company, Speedway Cafe, Evergreen Wholesale, and Central Wyoming Transportation. All can be found online at BaileyTire.com. Stick around for Bailey's postgame show after the game.
County10.com supports this Rustler radio broadcast. At County 10, their mission is to connect the communities that make up Fremont County. Whether you're looking for updated community news, the local events calendar, up-to-date job listings, the details about new businesses in town, the Student of the Week spotlight, or just want to watch local athletic events, County10.com is working to keep Fremont County communities connected.
First half in Cheyenne and Western Wyoming with a 6-2 lead about 5 minutes into the ballgame on LCCC. A low-scoring affair there. Trinidad State beating Lamar 16-7. They're at the 15-10 mark of that game in Trinidad. And the winner of that will be the winner of this game unless they will reseed after this first round.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Santana catches it precariously at the half-court stripe on the inbound.
You thought maybe he could have been better to have backed up and then fielded it.
Exactly.
No call, so.
Rodriguez Santana has it now. Hayes, and he'll get a hand check out of Brad Beeman. Bradley will pick up his first. Is that the second team foul, really? I'm looking through pulled up baskets no matter which way I look at these home scoring. Just about. Hemi has it at the top. Merritt comes to the left side elbow. 10 to shoot now. Knocked away by King Solomon. Taken away by King. He'll pump fake, go the distance. Have it pinned to the backboard from behind by Merritt.
I did not know that player was coming from that side. Was looking at the other end.
Hemi goes to the floor, missing his shot. Hollins with a rebound. It's tournament basketball. It's physicality. Baseline triple. Good. King Solomon spinning in the left side corner, knocks it down. Second triple of the day for King Solomon. He's 2 for 2. Marbury is out. He'll come back in on the next stop in play. Teshi Thong will check into the ball game as well. Merritt triple left side is good. This 6'1" rebounding machine has 6 points. And it's back to a 1-point game. 12:40 remaining in the first half. 16-15, Rustlers out in front. Hollins lost it, tried to dribble it before he got it completely in his hands, and he turns it over. Hemi, right side. Rodriguez Santana triple, misses, and the rebound by De La Cruz. He'll just take it to the rack himself on the other side. He'll miss it, and Condi will get the rebound. Condi trying to pass it up ahead, and saving it is Santana. Rodriguez, and put back twice, missed it again. Engel ends up with it. Wow. 3, even 4 opportunities that time down the floor, and Northwest does not score. Pretty close to the basket. Under 12 minutes left. Warren and Roberts will check in next. Dead ball along with Marbury. Baseline. Hemi just swats it away from De La Cruz and takes it away from Lawrence. Merritt in traffic, loses it, and then he'll foul Solomon, who goes down awkwardly.
There's that second foul finally.
But it's almost 8 minutes into the game as opposed to the 5 that I had him with it a little while ago.
Yep.
Solomon gets up a little gingerly. 3 turnovers on the Trappers, 4 turnovers on the Rustlers. Central right now 2 of 5 from the arc. Northwest 2 of 6. Central 6 of 11 from the field. Northwest 6 of 19. Northwest has 8 more shots. They've out-rebounded Central 11-8. And have 1 less turnover. Marbury 15-foot straightaway, left it short. And the rebound comes to Hayes. To Larson.
Now Marbury talked to the official, felt he was fouled on the play.
Hayes has Warren on him defensively, and regular season, that's a reach. Playoffs, it's just basketball, and then Marbury goes the other way and gets the basket and one. Foul is on Drew Larson, will be his second, so he and Merritt each with 2 fouls apiece. Marbury has 6 with a chance at 7, trying to push the Central lead to a 2-possession game at 18-15. Central has led the entire way, but no bigger lead than 6 in this contest right now.
Sometimes as little as 1.
I asked Coach Ward, I said, any wild junk defenses as Hayes gets knocked to the floor by Jaden Warren. And Hayes is 6'6", but he plays more of a 3 position. Merritt at 6'1" plays more of a 5, so Merritt's not in there at the moment, but they've been putting Roberts on Merritt kind of as a post, and then Warren, who's more of a guard defender, coming out on Hayes here in this ball game. Coach Ward said no plans, but no boundaries either, so I like that. Hemme, right side triple is good. First basket of the game for Will Hemme, and he cuts the lead back to 1, 10.5 remaining in the first half on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Working on Hayes. Marbury steps back, drops in 1 from 17. He's got 9, does Marbury. Thong into the ball game. He'll bring it across the timeline, defended by Solomon. Condi at the high post. Back out to Tessie. Larson triple teamed, in fact, goes back out to Thong. He'll fire a long, high, arcing 3 with pretty good defense in his face, and he knocked it down.
That wouldn't have worked at the LCCC gym.
No, that would have went through rafters or hit the roof or something. Marbury again on Hayes. Rejected by Hayes. Got his own rebound. Puts it back up. No good. Roberts will come away with the rebound. And now a reach will be called. Foul is on Thong, his first. 5th team foul on the Trappers, 3 on the Rustlers. And we're going to see Max Postiglione check into the ball game for Northwest. Max out of Brussels, Belgium, 6'4", redshirt freshman. Comes into the contest, and then Isaiah Halverson is in for the first time. Isaiah's out of Sacramento, averages 12 points, 4 rebounds. Comes in after...
It's a pretty good numbers to come in this late in the game.
At the 10.5-minute mark of the first half of play gone by. De La Cruz steps in, right hook, good. Little Euro step, De La Cruz with his first basket. He's got 4 points, back to a 2-point advantage. Met Lawrence's parents at the home game last time, said hello after the ball game at a little country club get-together after the contest, and recognized us from the broadcast. And thanks to Amanda Nicola for putting a camera in our face on the other side. I say tongue-in-cheek. Halverson triple at the top with 2 on the shot clock, does not go in, and Roberts with rebound number 4. Also met Julian Roberts' mom and also Emily Depue's parents at that function. Warren triple, misses Roberts. The rebound, turnaround 6 is good. Julian with 5 rebounds and 6 points. And the Rustlers back out to a 4-point advantage with 8.5 remaining in the first half of basketball. Hollins, Hemme, and Stubbs will all check in next whistle. Postiglione hands it back out to Halverson. 15-foot straightaway, doesn't shoot it. Instead, Postiglione will let a 3 fly, and it will be thrown out of bounds. Central basketball. 3rd team rebound for Central. They have now actually flipped the rebounding numbers. Central leading the rebounding numbers at 13-12 unofficially. Thong and Hayes will come out of the ball game for Northwest now. And Warren will get a breather as Jay Hollins is checked back into the Rustler lineup. 8 minutes left to play first half. 25-21 Central on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Hollins running the baseline. King gets free, 3 for 3. No. Hemi will get the rebound. First board of the game for Will.
One thing you've got with a lineup like Powell or Northwest is whoever gets the rebound has that capability of bringing the ball up the court by himself.
Hemi, triple over Marbury. He was well out there by 5 or 6 feet beyond the arc and knocks it down anyway.
Well, those Hemis are strong, you know.
They are. De La Cruz spins back out to Roberts. Now Hollins. He'll let a 3 fly quickly, and he'll knock it down. Tay Hollins, excuse me.
That was a Trey, so hey.
I improvised it. Yeah, exactly. It was like it was a planned thing, but unfortunately it was not. Media timeout on the next whistle. Halverson back to the basket, gives it out. Postiglione. 28-24 Central by 4. Shot clock down to 7. Hemi runs past De La Cruz, puts it off glass and scores.
Way to really battle the dribble there and then recovers it and then scores the layup.
Wondering where the help side defense was supposed to come from because it didn't show up.
I think sometimes when you watch a guy battle the dribble, you watch it, you know, so.
Reverse lay-in, no good. Condi the rebound. Underneath, Condi back to the basket with a left-hand spin. Can't get it to drop over Tay Hollins, and it's rebounded by Julian Roberts.
He hit a couple of those left-handers against us the last time we played here.
I also would like to thank the Roberts and Depew family for the selfies on my phone after. Turning and scoring is Roberts as he and Condi kind of banged bodies down there, and Julian will have 8. And this is what I'm talking about, where it was at 8 minutes and 7 seconds when this series of play started. We're over 2 minutes now without a whistle, and as I say it, there's a foul on Marbury, and that will get us to the media timeout.
There's a check-in guy with a little sore sitting on their rumpus rooms there.
5:56 left to play first half in a close one, 30-26 Central. It's Northwest basketball. When we come back from this timeout, this is Rustler Basketball from Rustler Media.
A big win sponsor of the Rustler Athletic Booster Club is Health Source Chiropractic of Riverton, restoring health through the relentless pursuit of exceptional care. They offer chiropractic care and exercise therapy for everyone. Services include spinal decompression for degenerative or bulging discs without surgery and custom orthotics. They also have health products and nutritional supplements. See them at 910 North 8th West in Riverton or online at healthsourcechiro.com/Riverton.
Under 6 minutes left to play in the first half. John Gabrielson, Joel Kindle from Rustler Gymnasium. Want to thank Amanda Nikoloff and the new media crew. Skylar Anderson is our director. I have Andrew and Addie up here running cameras for us. High atop Rustler Gym in the soon-to-be remodeled press box. I don't know if it's going to be remodeled, but the floor is going to look different. So,
isn't the University of Wyoming still planning on that for their press box at the stadium?
I think so. I'm not. They're in phases right now.
Coming with the pool, right?
Yeah. Hemi will trigger it inbound to Stubbs. Back up top, Rodriguez Santana. Hayes not in the game. Merritt is back with Larson. Deliver it on the offense.
Those two matched up in high school. What's interesting about that matchup?
7 to shoot. Hemi at the shot clock drains it.
That's the second time he's done that with just seconds to go on the shot clock.
That one a little closer to the wire. Hemi has 10, and the lead is 2. Yeah, Engel and Merritt battling Riverton Star Valley Regional Championships a year or two. Baseline, Marbury fouled, and he got it. And that will be 3 on Merritt. Coulter Merritt with his third personal on the left side baseline. Marbury has 11. First Rustler in double figures. Hemi has 10 on the other side for the Trappers. And at the line, Sam Marbury. Central 77% free throw shooters. Marbury 57% individually gets that one. 33-28, back to a 5-point Rustler lead. They have led the entire first half. There have been 2 ties. Larson back to the basket. Hemi pump fake with Engel on him defensively. Swing it left side. They'll go down low. Merritt says he's got a mismatch over Beeman, and he will score with an and one. Merritt had Beeman on him defensively, and he's calling for the basketball. Beeman's listed at 6'2", but the 6'1/6'8" Merritt asking for the basketball, and he gets it and he scores. Dad said he measures him every time he comes home, and he's still 6'1". Merritt has 8 with his 4 rebounds that he had early.
Those guys, you need to get cable TV or something if they measure their kid every time he comes home.
It's a lot of snow in the wintertime. Free throw is no good. Engel with his second board of the afternoon. We're under 5 left to play. Going to have a quick interview with Leighton Westmoreland at halftime. And then got a little something special planned in the halftime as well, as Engel with a rebound to Beeman in the corner for a triple is good. Lucas Engel sparking that as he gets the offensive rebound and knocks it in with the three.
I'm sorry, John. So many times we've seen a sub player make a big play. That's crucial in some of these games.
Marbury stripped it in a late whistle. It's going to give him the foul on the strip, and that is number 2 on Sam. Hayes back into the contest for Merritt, who has 3 fouls. Marbury and Beeman will come out as Roberts and Warren back in with Hollins, De La Cruz, and Engel. 4:15 remaining in the first half. Central back out to their biggest lead of the game of 6. Stubbs takes the inbounds, gives it back to Hemme, but Hollins got a piece of it to not let him get a shot away quickly. Rodriguez Santana working one-on-one, drives to the baseline, missed it, but Drew Larson's going to go out and get the rebound.
That's cool how he kept the ball alive for himself to pursue it.
Yeah, a couple of times. Hayes back out, Larson triple. That's good.
And he basically bought himself a 3 out of all this hustle.
He's got 8 to go with Merritt's 8 and Hemme's 10, and it cuts the lead in half, 36-33. Central, like I said, has led the entire first half, minus 2 ties, but it's been a close game. Nice entry pass. Juice with a jam from Engel.
Yeah, you overplay for the steal, and if you don't make the steal, that's what can happen to you.
10 points for Julian Roberts with a left-handed dunk. 3:20 remaining in the first half of this contest.
Interesting, too, they post up their guards all over the place as well. Well, I guess they're all guards, so right?
Triple Stubbs is good on the left side. 2-point ball game, 3 minutes left to play. It was 75-70 last time they played here at Central.
Yeah, that game was different, though. CWC had the lead, and then it shrunk, and then this one's been close really the whole way, though the lead has not changed.
Roberts turn around 15, missed it. Hemme pokes it up in the air, but Engel ends up with it. Outside triple Hollins, no good. Santana, the rebound. He'll take it himself to the rack, and an offensive foul is stepping in to take the charge, Jaden Warren. Engel and Hollins will come out. Good minutes for both of those guys. 2:35 left. Waiting to see the replay come in on that last play to see where, in fact, Jaden was. But like I said, if anybody's going to take a charge in a game, you put your money on FanDuel on that kid. Nice dish underneath, and Roberts is fouled.
Good pass,
Yeah, had his feet outside the arc and everything.
I thought the guy might have gone sideways on him at the end, but hey, I'm not there.
Foul was whistled on Rodriguez Santana, who is picked up number 2. 8th team foul on the Trappers. Roberts to the line. He was 0 for 2 earlier, and he'll get back on the right side of the ledger, knocking that one down. 39-36, 2:20 remaining in the first half. Neither team has called the timeout. They've just used the 2 media timeouts in this one. Lefty is 1 for 3 on the day free throw shooting as he misses that one, and the rebound by Rodriguez Santana. 1 possession game, 2 minutes left. Rodriguez Santana working on Sam Marbury, who is back into the game. Back out to Stubbs, now Hayes. Hayes has 2 points in the contest and an assist. Right side Stubbs, 3, good. Even with Roberts closing out on him, that is his second triple. And for the third time in the first half, we are tied. 39 apiece.
And they've been at different parts of the game. It's not like it's been a tied and tied again and tied. It's been very separated.
No lead bigger than 6 for the Rustlers. Northwest has not had a lead in this contest. Jaden Warren with the right side runner, and they'll lay it off glass and score it. Claps his hands to spur on his defense.
Which you could hear really well there. This was the halftime score the last time they played, by the way, 41-39.
Top of the key, Rodriguez Santana would have given the Trappers their first lead. Doesn't. Hayes ends up with a rebound, and Rodriguez Santana misses again. They will reload, though, on the offensive board. Hayes gets in. He'll scoop with the right hand, and he'll score his second basket of the contest and tie us up at 41. We're under a minute left to play, and Tessie Thong has been waiting to get into this ballgame for a long time. It has just seemed like all year there have been 2.5 minute spurts between whistles where kids have just had to play on, as Roberts will go to the right side with the left hand and put it off glass and score. And now Coach Schmidt will call a timeout with 40 seconds left in the half. Scores from around the region right now. They are 4 minutes and 51 seconds away from halftime in Cheyenne. Western leading LCCC 28-22, so the road team winning there. And if the seeds were to hold, Central wins, Trinidad wins, those two would meet up on Thursday at 1 o'clock. But right now, Trinidad on their home floor trailing to Lamar 31-28.
Of course, that game is up in the air just like this one.
You would think, Trinidad, obviously the higher seed and probably the odds-on favorite in that one, but trailing on their home floor with a little under 6 minutes left to play in the contest there, as you're looking at Will Hemme of Northwest College in the middle of your screen.
After the whistle blew, he had the basketballs to try to shoot a couple down there, and the official said, hey, give me the ball.
2 possessions left in the first half, perhaps. Hemme, Solomon on him defensively. Stubbs has 2 threes already. Pump fake, throws it away, but Thong comes from behind to grab it with 10 on the shot clock.
We did get into the game, by the way.
Thong, 15-foot line. Hemme, 4 seconds, turns, lets it fly, and knocks down a third.
The third
buzzer beater on the shot clock. Hemme has 12, and we're tied. De La Cruz in the paint at the buzzer. Good!
And it's a 2-point game, just like it was the last time they played here, albeit a slightly higher score.
These two teams, Central averages 83 a game, and Northwest averages 80 a game. And we're above that average right now at 45-43 in the contest. Central leading on the De La Cruz bucket at the buzzer. And we're going to take our break, and we're going to come back in a very quick interview with Leighton Westmoreland. And then I've got another thing that I'd like to take care of up here at halftime of a special game of our broadcast here today. We'll do that after this. This is your Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show from Rustler Media.
Myers Gambles is a proud supporter of Rustler Sports Broadcasts. They're located in downtown Lander at 420 Main Street, offering furniture, mattresses, appliances, home office, kitchen, and more. They feature brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Jenn-Air. Turn around, shop in town. More details can be found online at landergambles.com.
Gales Carpet Floor and Home in Riverton and Altitude Interiors of Lander is proud to support Central Wyoming College athletic broadcasts, offering vinyl, hardwood, tile, and laminate flooring. All can be found online at galescarpet1riverton.com and altitudeinteriors.net.
The Wind River Casino has something for everyone when it comes to dining, and they're a great supporter of Rustler Radio. The Red Willow Steak and Seafood is open Thursday through Sunday from 4 to 9 p.m. The Buffalo Sportsbook Grill is open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Menus and more information can be found at windriverhotelcasino.com.
Support of Rustler Athletics comes from Sutherland's on North Federal Boulevard in Riverton. Whether you have a minor repair or a large project, take advantage of Sutherland's many rewards. Sign up for our emails and monthly gifts. Save even more with the Sutherland's Friends of the Family Plus Consumer Credit Card. Apply online or see a store associate for complete details. You can order online for in-store or curbside pickup at Sutherlands.com. Sutherland's of Riverton, helping you build it better since 1917.
Back on our Rustler halftime show, brought to you by Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. John Gabriels and Joel Kidd alongside Leighton Westmoreland. And got a lot of activities I need to cram into the half here, but I appreciate you coming up. And unfortunately, we talked about it a little bit the other day that the season is a long season. I mean, you guys start in August, and then October 1, you get to start for real, and then November games start, and then it's a grueling long time, but then all of a sudden it's over with all too soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely, and having the low bodies makes that season longer. You know, the injuries, and now everybody's stretching minutes that they wouldn't have if we had the extended bench, but you know, it's the same season the men have, and they're here, and they're firing, and, you know, excited for some good basketball today.
You know, Gillette, you mentioned this the other day. They were a game away. Well, they were almost eliminated, and then they get a home play-in game, and they win big last night.
Absolutely. Gillette has shown what it means to finish a season, and obviously they still have a long way to go for the postseason with the regional tournament, but you know, going into that game that we had at their place on Thursday, we were in 6th place due to the tiebreaker, so they were the 7th place team, and all it took was that win and the win over Northwest, and there you go.
Yeah, and it ends. You end the season with 9 wins, 3 wins last year, and Joel and I talked about several times just the changing of the culture. When we get in games, that game would have been over maybe years ago, but not.
Just little things like the passes being crisper, for example. Just little things, but it's a whole mess of little things that we see.
Well, you know, it has been that. The good thing, it doesn't take long to reset culture at the JUCO level because the kids are gone in a year or two.
Yep.
So we've been able to kind of do that, and it looks like preliminarily we have the core of this group coming back, so that creates more culture for next year with the incoming freshmen, and we're able to continue to build on what we've been doing.
And you'll have a pretty deep international flair next year as well.
Absolutely. We'll have 6 internationals in total, 5 coming in. We got 2 coming in from New Zealand, 2 from Spain, 1 from Serbia.
But with that, it's always sort of a thing, are you sure you'll have them? Because we see this every year where what you have isn't what you have sometimes.
Yeah, you know, that's what you see more consistency of is, you know, kid comes in, they don't really like it, or, you know, it's not what they thought it was, so they go home. It's a lot harder to do that when you're coming across the ocean. And so now with that, you know, they've still got to get their I-20s and get paperwork in and everything. And, you know, so as the things are going right now, it seems like everything's a pretty smooth process, so shouldn't have any hiccups.
I would recommend you go to New Zealand to check on them. And
there you go. Yeah.
I loved my visit there at Christmas time.
We could go and help out with that as well. Real quick, one last quick question as postseason awards. Have those been decided yet? Can you announce any of those, and where do you speculate? And unfortunately, that team that has the 7 beside him maybe gets pushed down the list, even though a kid may deserve. But anything postseason you're looking at right now?
No postseason awards, unfortunately. I definitely was disappointed. We had our shot blocker up for defensive, you know, all defensive team, and she led just behind Lila Spring in blocks, and she actually didn't get a single vote. So that was actually pretty shocking.
Emily Sawyer you're talking about, sorry.
Exactly. And then unfortunately we didn't have any make the all region team, but you know, you got to have wins to get that recognition.
Unfortunately. So anything else real quick?
we just we hope that we can continue to put a better product on the floor year by year, and appreciate the support we've got from the community and from our fans, and hopefully we can continue to have that.
Well, and I appreciate you, win, lose, draw. You've always let me put the microphone in your face and ask you questions, and love your girls absolutely from top to bottom. I've loved this team, and good job recruiting on character for sure. And thank you. I just want to thank you for coming up and talking to us every time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If I would, could I suggest a stretching rack for some of those that they used in medieval times to make some of them taller?
Towel ball, number one. Just get towel stretched out a little bit.
Well, hey, our incoming class is averaging 6 feet tall, so I'm pretty excited about that. So,
all right.
Thank you all.
Sounds good. Thank you, Leighton. Leighton Westmoreland, after his second season as the head coach of CWC. You stay with us. I've got a special thing I want to take care of next. This is Rustler basketball. The Rustlers leading 45-43 on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. This is your Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show.
Wind River Family and Community Healthcare,
right,
Wind River Cares, has opened a winter warming hut behind 789 Smoke Shop and Casino. Open daily from 5 p.m. to 9 a.m., this safe haven provides shelter for all community members in need. Call 307-438-3421 or 307-438-3370 for more information or to offer help. Share this message to support those who need warmth this winter. Wind River Family and Community Health Care, caring for our community, one warm night at a time.
Rustler Radio is supported by Altitude Interiors by Gales and Lander. Altitude Interiors offers a wide range of flooring options, including carpet, laminates, luxury vinyl plank, and more. Additionally, they provide walk-in showers and custom rug binding services to match your specific size and material preferences. Installation services are available, and financing options can be discussed. Learn more about Altitude Interiors by visiting altitudeinteriors.net.
It's going to be harder than I thought, and it's mostly your fault. As we are back at Rustler Gym, and
am I stepping over you again?
This is Joel Kendall has told me that this may be his last broadcast with me.
Okay, I guess now it has to be.
we have been together for 30-some years.
Oh boy!
And you have been a mentor, a teacher, a part-time comedian, a
football to your daughter for a while.
As much as anything, you've been my friend. And for everything that you have done for me and everything you have done for athletics, I have put together a little thing that I would like to present to you. And thank you so much for being everything you have to me, and
you got my name right.
To a lot of other through absolutely.
We have done a lot. In fact,
Joel has been the voice of the Wolverines, and he has been the voice of the Trojans and the Mustangs in Casper, and a lot of activity.
And we've also done a lot of the 2A teams around here.
A lot of the state basketball games.
I've done Lander Babe Ruth.
The state football games. And how long have you been in broadcasting?
Oh, boy.
Before 82?
I'm going to put an AD after whatever year I put down there. So, in broadcasting, I started in radio, really, about 1972. So
I started.
That's why I put the AD after.
I started life in 1971. Just to
give you an idea, my wife taught you in school
twice. So. Both of my fourth grade years.
You were held back. Dang it, we got beat on the punch on that one.
Absolutely no. She was my fourth grade teacher, then my eighth grade art teacher. But I can't believe that it may be your last game with me. I don't want to believe
that.
You
did color with me at one time, in fact,
Just in case it is, I just wanted to tell you thank you on behalf of a lot of athletes in a lot of years around the state, and mostly for myself, my friend.
With the COVID year, I might have another year, too. I don't know.
We'll get that. I appreciate that. We'll take a look at some some first-half stats. It'll be Northwest basketball. My thanks to Joel Kendall for doing that. I really appreciate that. We'll be back, and I'll dry my eyes, clear my throat, and we'll be back after this on Rustler Basketball.
Rustler Radio is sponsored in part by the Wind River Hotel and Casino. The Buffalo Coffee Shop proudly serves Starbucks. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., serving Starbucks coffee and beverages. The casino also has pastry items baked in-house by the casino's very own baker. The Buffalo Coffee Shop open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. More information can be found at windriverhotelcasino.com.
At Fremont Chevy in Riverton, being in the community isn't just how we do business, it's our way of life. We think of our team, our customers, and our local community as one big family. For us, being community partners is more than just a source of great pride. It gives us a deep sense of responsibility. We are excited to bring you the scoreboard for Rustler Athletics on Rustler Media. See Fremont Chevy online and at North Federal Boulevard in Riverton.
County10.com supports this Rustler Radio broadcast. At County 10, their mission is to connect the communities that make up Fremont County. Whether you're looking for updated community news, the local events calendar, up-to-date job listings, the details about new businesses in town, the Student of the Week spotlight, or just want to watch local athletic events, County10.com is working to keep Fremont County communities connected.
This is KCWC FM, Riverton. Heard around the world on the Rustler Radio app.
Back on the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show brought to you by Whiteout. We're at 45-43. Central with a 45-43 two-point advantage.
I want to get one last thing in, and that is I consider myself lucky because I did games with Rich Burkham-Shaw. I did games with Rick Scott way back when. But Rich Burkham-Shaw and you and I just really could not have done games with any better people than the fact I've done them with. You know, it's like, and some of those guys we've done games at the state championships have been a lot of fun too, to tell you the truth. So, I mean, we've done games of teams we don't even know, and that's and back-to-back situations.
We have done games from the back of pickup trucks, from underneath bleachers and phone lines nailed to trees, and press boxes that didn't have phone lines and other things. And it's been a wild career, and to see the technology go
a Marty unit
so,
that would heat up to like 800 degrees Fahrenheit.
And then whatever you do, don't touch that one part of that as well. 45-43 Central out in front as Julian Roberts has 13 points, 6 rebounds. Sam Marbury has 12. Lawrence De La Cruz has 6. Tay Hollins has 3. Bradley Beeman has 3. Jaden Warren has 2 for Central. Northwest out rebounded Central unofficially 19-17. For the 43 points on the Trapper side, Will Hemme has 12. Merritt and Larson 8 apiece. 6 points. Crew Stubbs on a pair of threes. Colin Hayes has 4. Teshi Thong has 3. Milton Rodriguez Santana has 2 in the ballgame. Central 4 of 11 on the home court shooting threes right now, 36%, 18 of 30 from the field, 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Northwest 17 of 36 from the field, 47%. They have 1 less make and 6 more attempts than the Rustlers. They are also 8 of 15 from the arc at 53% and 1 of 2 from the free throw line in this ballgame. 45-43 is our score. This has been the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show. Thank you to Cody Beers and Wydot for sponsoring Rustler basketball all season long, and your Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show. You know, it's kind of homecoming. Curtis Condy is in the house watching his son play. Just got a text from Pat Rafferty, who is watching on the YouTube. So, Pat, tip of the cap to you.
And who is partly responsible for one of the players we have here, in fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be bigly responsible.
Second half begins. It is Trapper basketball. It will be Merritt, Hemme. Hayes still not starting, as Stubbs will start. So will Larson and Rodriguez Santana. On the other side, De La Cruz, Roberts, Warren, Marbury, and Solomon. The 5 on the court, dressed in white for Central.
You know, this would be like a 10-point lead if it weren't for Hemme making those shots with buzzers running down.
Yeah, 3 of them,
yes.
In fact. And one was a 3 as Hemme has it now. He's playing on a bad wheel on top of it. Stubbs gets free. He'll shoot and miss, but Merritt
that was dangerous on Merritt's part. He was going to go to the back to get that rebound, which he did.
Specifically with those 3 fouls. He will go through and score over Warren.
Another tie.
6th tie of the contest, but Northwest has never led. First opportunity on the offensive end for the Rustlers, as it almost looked like they were going to put Sam kind of one-on-one by himself in the corner as De La Cruz dribbles through a trap. Larson and Hemme about had him hemmed in. Instead, Roberts will knock down a triple on the left side. 16 for Juice, they call him, and it's 48-45. Full court pressure from the Rustlers. Hemi to Stubbs across the timeline. Back out top, Rodriguez Santana. He's going to run the arc a couple of times. Merritt goes low block, gets a seal from Larson, but misses the shot.
That came up hard off the glass.
Marbury, that was a good seal by Larson, but he just couldn't make the shot go down. Warren falls down, and Merritt's going to get the steal. 1-on-2, Merritt goes to the rack, and he'll be scored as he scoots on his keister all the way to the padding underneath. 5 turnovers apiece unofficially in this one, and Coulter Merritt will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair on the second personal foul on Jaden Warren, first of the second half for Central.
Nobody really in serious foul trouble for either team.
Correct. Merritt does have 3, but now that you've gotten into that second stanza, it's not such a bad deal as he knocks down the first. 11 points for Coulter Merritt. He averages 13. Does the Region 9's top rebounder as he knocks both down and cuts the lead to 1 after the Roberts triple. 48-47 on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Big thanks to Buckle Up for Life Wyoming. Wydot, your halftime show. Fremont Chevy, our scoreboard. We'll have the Bailey Enterprises postgame show coming up here in a bit. De La Cruz gets knocked to the floor essentially. It
seems like this almost the same place where we slipped down just a bit ago.
Left side Marbury triple. No good. Nobody home but Hemi to rebound. Left side, backdoor cut. Rodriguez Santana in traffic. Merritt gets left wide open, misses. That was
a great fake though.
Chance at their first lead. They don't get it. Roberts underneath will score, and Stubbs will get the foul and put him to the line for the and 1.
I was thinking of something else, a bit of trivia. I did a baseball game with my color guy. Was a former CWC head coach, Art Baker, once upon a time.
When Art was the head coach of the Raiders, I interviewed him several different times. Julian Roberts at the line, 18 for Juice. His career high is 26 against Dawson, and he'll miss the free throw.
It's really surprising because he's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Yeah, not today, though. Unfortunately, he's 1 for 5. 18 points, 3-point lead Central. It has been close throughout. Like I said, no lead changes as a triple from Larson misses, and it's going to go off of Rodriguez Santana out of bounds to the Rustlers. I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that Pat Rafferty still had my number or I still had him in my phone as Pat Rafferty.
One-time Casper College head coach. In fact, he took a team to nationals, I believe, there, didn't he?
I believe, yes. Marbury. Out to De La Cruz. Wide open Jaden Warren. Just pans out. Hemi the rebound. Third board of the game for Will. He'll push off a bit. Go the left hand. Ouch. Jaden Warren comes down hard. That ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay. You could hear him react.
His tailbone hitting the floor there. You could tell.
He is
I'm not sure if his head went down as well.
Face down on the court is Jaden Warren, and you've got to hope that everything is okay with that kid. As they will stop play, and Stephanie Gallagher, our athletic trainer at Central, will come and check him out. Is going to watch the replay here.
Yeah, see, he landed that way and flipped over. It's interesting.
Right,
now.
He landed flat, almost prone, not flat, because his head was not in danger of hitting, which is the good news of that. But at the same time,
took a real jolt.
Yeah, his tailbone definitely getting that, and boy, that is one of those injuries that just almost does not go away until you absolutely don't do anything for a while. Coach Rafferty sending you the message, all the best.
Remember, he was a golf coach as well here.
Yes, he was. Still looking at Jaden Warren underneath the Central basket. 16:52 left in the the second half. I'll get it right
take
one of
over
these times.
Play-by-play on this exit broadcast.
Good gravy. He's trying to get up and
interesting. The players are helping him. A lot of times you see them separate them on purpose from whatever injury it might be. But he's
up and he's under his own power,
but he's
to the most part, but
nothing
not really.
Nothing on one leg.
And out of all that, it's still going to be Trapper basketball on that rebound.
Very articulate interviewer. Remember, we've talked to him a number of times after games, and he always comes across really well as an interview subject.
Well, he's an entrepreneur, has his own line of clothing. Is going to watch this one more time here just to left hip.
And there's no foul call, and I'm not sure there should have been either. It was just a wrong place, wrong time sort of incident.
Going to wish the best for Jaden Warren as he hobbles off the court. Tay Hollins will come in for him, so kind of a short bench gets a little shorter for Central now. 20 on the shot clock as we're back to action. Hemi has that knocked away by Julian Roberts, who just had his arm out playing defense. Colin Hayes gets told to check into the ball game from Coach Ward. Getting his second stint at Northwest College.
His assistant coach's second stint as well, which is interesting.
Winner will advance to play at most likely 1 o'clock on Thursday. Hayes in traffic, gets it to go.
Well, he got it through a number of arms there to put that in.
Down in the timber, and definitely got it to go through a lot of arms. Western leads LCCC by 1. They're just underway in the second half. De La Cruz puts it back up, misses the second time, and the rebound by Larson. There's a lot of contact on that play. But it is tournament time, obviously, as we've talked about that many a time. Trappers with their first shot at a lead. I guess they've had different shots at a lead, but their first...
Looks like Jaden's going to the dressing room or the
training room,
or the other.
Foul on King Solomon, knocking it away from Stubbs, will get his first personal foul. As Jaden took a while to walk across the side of the gym after landing on that left hip. Try to keep you up to date on his condition as Hemi lobs it up top to Hayes at the midcourt stripe. Hayes steps, triple on the way, is dishpanning out, and Solomon the rebound.
Well, obviously they can't take the lead, so...
Yeah, no, they just have not. They've had 3 or 4 or 5 chances and just cannot get their first lead in the basketball game.
They won't go away, but they just haven't been able to get the lead.
De La Cruz runs past Merritt and missed it. Boy, Merritt just stood his ground.
4 on 2 if they hurry.
Let him go past him, and underneath Hayes has it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll go Central basketball. Northwest has out-rebounded Central 27-12, unofficially by my stats.
What day would the winner of this game play? What
Thursday.
Is Thursday?
Solomon's shot does not go, and a rebound by Merritt. 7 rebounds by Coulter Merritt. Directing traffic. Left side, Larson. Puts it on the ground, tries to run around Marbury, spins, leans in as it knocked out of his hands. Juice gets an elbow across the face, and a foul going to be whistled on Marbury, and that'll be number 3 on Sam.
Yeah, Roberts took the worst of that, actually, and he wasn't really involved in the play. First, Hemi came over to check and see how he was doing. Wasn't involved in the play either, so.
Roberts once out, checking for blood on his upper lip and his nose. And Drew Larson will go to the line with a chance to make it a 7th tie of the game and possibly a Trapper lead. Tied again at the 7th time. My hoop mic I turned off when we had the injured player. 9 points for Larson. Chance of the first lead of the basketball game for the Trappers now.
And Roberts will join him in the training area, it appears, as he ran off.
Wow.
He ran off, at least that's one good sign.
Right.
Maybe there's a blood jersey situation.
Trappers have their first lead of the contest on the second free throw by Larson. It's 51-50. First lead change of the game. De La Cruz has it stolen away by Merritt. He'll go the distance. Reverse layup is good. What an acrobatic play by the 6'1", 6'8" Merritt. He's got 14 to lead his team with 7 rebounds, and Coach Schmidt will call a timeout. Trappers have their first lead of the game and have extended it to 3. 14:59 left to play in the first half. Northwest 53, Central 50. We'll be back after this break. This is Rustler Basketball from Rustler Media.
Bailey Enterprises is a supporter of CWC Athletic Broadcasts. Bailey's operates Pit Stop Travel Centers, Bailey Tire and Auto Service, Bailey Oil Company, Speedway Cafe, Evergreen Wholesale, and Central Wyoming Transportation. All can be found online at BaileyTire.com. Stick around for Bailey's postgame show after the game.
Quick timeout by Coach Schmidt and the Rustlers. 14:59 remains on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Full court pressure now out of the Trappers.
I think that'd be dangerous, though, when you got Merritt out there in a full court press. You saw wanting to pick up a 4th foul.
Right. Engel is back in. Beeman is in. Hollins is in. De La Cruz and Solomon.
Engel came in for Roberts, actually, a while ago.
Hollins steps back, doesn't shoot the 3. De La Cruz working on him. He runs right past him, lays it up and in. Almost missed it, though. It looked like it came out of his hands almost too fast.
His fake was great to set him up for that drive.
8 points for the point guard. Back within 1 now, Central. Merritt guarded by De La Cruz. Want to try to probably get him on the low block and see if they can't post up Merritt on De La Cruz. Instead, they'll throw it away as he threw it right between Engel.
Yeah, threw it through the double team and couldn't get it through the double team.
Solomon, pump fake, floating 12, double clutch. Bodies fly. Merritt another rebound. 2-on-2. Merritt goes the distance and is fouled. Kind of almost Merritt forcing the issue, knowing that there was going to be contact and maybe a call, just the way he went through there.
I always felt that's not a bad situation to have when you've got the 1-on-2, because which player is going to step in front? And there's some indecision there, and quite often you can split them, and they're not, and they're at an angle from you, so they really can't get straight on in front of you.
De La Cruz with his foul, and Merritt rattles home the free throw. 15 for Coulter Merritt.
Pretty handy player to have around.
One shot. Straight in, Black. Don't push. One.
Second one is on the way and good. He is season high is 22, and he has 16 now.
Remember, we used to get the occasional volleyball player from Star Valley.
De La Cruz stops 15. Dish pans out. Merritt has the rebound come into his hands after Larson tapped it around, and then Merritt is going to be fouled by De La Cruz. Good tough rebound by Coulter Merritt. And we've got a media timeout. De La Cruz will get his second foul, much to the chagrin of the Rustler fans and the head coach talking to the official now. Media timeout with 13:44 left to play in the ball game. Trappers with a basketball and a 3-point lead on Rustler Media.
This broadcast comes to you in part by Fremont Therapy. They offer physical, occupational, and sports therapy in Lander, Riverton, Rawlins, and Green River, Wyoming. They are the scoreboard sponsor for tonight's game and can be found online at FremontTherapyGroup.com.
A Big Win sponsor of the Rustler Athletic Booster Club is Health Source Chiropractic of Riverton, restoring health through the relentless pursuit of exceptional care. They offer chiropractic care and exercise therapy for everyone. Services include spinal decompression for degenerative or bulging discs without surgery and custom orthotics. They also have health products and nutritional supplements. See them at 910 North 8th West in Riverton or online at healthsourcechiro.com/Riverton.
Those of you watching online, watch Julian Roberts race back to the Rustler bench. He's holding, look at his upper lip.
Gauze, it looks like they're wearing the same jersey, so apparently that wasn't a problem.
Still wearing the number 20. Full court pressure out of the Rustlers, out of the offensive rebound, the defensive rebound by Merritt. Condi into the ball game, gives it back to Merritt, now to Stubbs. Kind of wonder why you haven't found Hemi with this as of yet, as he's kind of been your floor general point guard. Now he'll get it between the circles with 17 on the shot clock. 13 and a half remaining in the contest. Trappers with a steal. There is Engel. The distance and the flush. gets the Rustler crowd on their feet and in full throat as they're down by 1.
Interesting, the loudest is when you're behind, but that dunk can sometimes be a huge, momentum changer.
See if it is, in fact, the catalyst. Hayes working on Hollins. Stubbs ends up with it. Left side, Merritt. Now Hemi. 8 to shoot. Condi. Top of the key, Merritt to Hayes. Hayes spins on Hollins. Contact. Rebound again. Who else when you're talking about Coulter Merritt? He's got 10 boards unofficially with 16 points, the double-double. I see our athletic trader coming back into the gymnasium as Hayes drops a triple.
That's the biggest lead of the game at this point.
4-point contest on the Hayes bucket gives him 9.
She came back, but the player she was attending to didn't.
Yeah, she was looking for Jaden Warren to follow. Engel turns over Condi, missed it. Condi the rebound. He just left it short. 58-54 Trappers.
Good to see Roberts ready to check in at the next whistle, but we never know when that's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. 2 minutes from now, probably. Hemi is going to be there. Hemi catches it with his heel on the line. That'll be a turnover, number 9.
He tried to stay tiptoed on that, did you notice? But it still didn't work.
Trinidad State has opened it up on Lamar. They lead 50-34. That was like 32-29 at one point, and then a 21-2 spurt by the Trojans.
That'd be like the shortest road trip in Region 9, unless you might think Eastern and Western Nebraska, maybe.
Right, yeah, well, Lamar and Otero.
Oh, that's right.
Would be a lot closer. Condi is going to foul Julian Roberts, and Preston will get his first personal foul. It will be ball out of bounds. LCCC is back out in front now of Western 50-45 in that contest.
I probably would have picked Western in that, but I'm not surprised at all at the same time.
Roberts on Condi. Turns, floats, gets 6. He's got 20.
That bodied Condi just a little bit, gave himself some room.
And that was pretty good defense by Preston. Just better offense by Julian Roberts. 2-point lead by the Trappers, 58-56. Still 11:20 left to play in the contest. Merritt is on the bench as Halverson is in his place, has the basketball, now finds Hayes. Underneath, wide open, Halverson as Tay Hollins got separated on a pick, and they'll run an easy bucket underneath on a little bit of a Princeton offensive run right there. Halverson's first basket of the game. Marbury the other way will get a floater and one. Foul is on Colin Hayes, his first. I've got the Trappers for 3 team fouls. It is Central has 5. As Tay Hollins will come out. De La Cruz comes out. Beeman and Solomon back into the guard line for the Rustlers. Chance to cut the lead in half, down by 2, 60-58. It's been close all throughout. Marbury has 15 with that make. And it's 60-59. Trappers with a 1-point advantage in the basketball. Hemi guns it up ahead to Condi at the hash. Gives it back out. Rustlers down to just 3 subs now with Warren in the training room and Dugan Moroboto not suited up to play today. Hayes with 6 underneath. How'd that pass get under there? And it's taken away anyway. Might have been taken away, should have been taken away probably before that. Marbury over Hayes, got it.
That was a good defense as well, but the offense was better.
18 for Marbury, and the Rustlers have back the lead, and an 11th turnover by the Trappers gives it back. Marbury's going to go the distance, and he will be fouled
on the floor before the shot.
Hayes gets the call, second personal on Colin Hayes.
Like Marbury may be pleading with the fans as opposed to pleading with the officials.
Hayes pleading with the official about being straight up, and he's like, you weren't straight up, you were just like this. He makes the hand motion for bent over. Midway through the second half, Central with a 62-60 advantage on our second lead change of the contest. Solomon Triple on the way. Good. Central shooting the lights out on the last 3 possessions, have put themselves back up by 5. Now 7. No! Solomon missed the jam.
Well, that can come back to haunt you.
Had it point blank, and he tried to dunk it, and he missed it. And then Engel gets hit in the jaw and goes down hard as he got Hayes' shoulder right in his face. And Engel gets called for the foul. They're going to clear out the players here.
Our trainer has been busy.
Lucas on his hands and knees now.
Is that blood I see down there?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if it is in fact a pretty good pool of blood, is watching the replay now here.
Did we see that before? I don't think we do.
Lucas is at the free throw line. Oh, he took an elbow as Hayes had the ball up above his shoulders. And
it was interesting. Hayes almost got steered into him as the defense there.
Yeah, and there is an awful lot of blood on the court that Coach Newman is now cleaning up underneath, as they're going to send Powell Northwest back to their timeout, their respective sideline. As well, there was a lot of blood spewed from Lucas Engel. You can.
He still has not made it to the home bench. He's still behind the.
There's a trash can there that he's probably bleeding into right now. But Colin Hayes came in. He had the basketball kind of in ready position, like under his chin, and that right elbow, just tagged Lucas. Boy, great camera work there to see all of that blood on the court. Boy, I'm watching the replay, which the replay is the live stream that people are watching on RustlerAthletics.com. Goodness, it is. Central has been beat up in this one. Jaden Warren went down with a left hip tailbone injury and has not returned to the gymnasium. Julian Roberts took a shot to the face. He left momentarily, and now Lucas Engel has left. And with that amount of blood, you maybe wonder if he lost a tooth or something in there. You hope for the best, for sure. But, boy, this one has been a battle, to say the least, with 9:39 left to play in the ball game.
Interesting, the CWC team is huddled at half court, whereas the Trappers are still huddled down their bench with their coach.
And like you said, it looked like Hayes got steered in. The defense by another Rustler pushing him out and into Lucas on that play. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a few. Tell you about the Rustler 500 coming up April 5th.
Rustler Athletics helps foster academic achievement, leadership, community engagement, and pride. The Rustler Athletics mission is to help student athletes compete at the highest level in their chosen sport and help them build a foundation for a successful life after competition. A $100 donation to the Rustler 500 reverse raffle not only gets you a chance of winning part of $15,000, but also helps make a difference in the lives of CWC student athletes. The last ticket selected will win $10,000, but all money raised helps our athletes win. Check RustlerAthletics.com for details. And thanks for helping out, Rustler Nation.
Well, so a third Rustler has been taken off to the athletic training room down the hall inside of the Student Center here on CWC's campus.
Players checking that spot right now.
A lot of squeaking going on. Picked up by the unsponsored hoop mic.
Come together as much. King, come together.
So it's Roberts, De La Cruz, Marbury, Beeman, and Solomon, the 5 on the floor for the Rustlers. Halverson, Hayes, Rodriguez, Santana, Condi, and Thong on the court for the Trappers as they'll take it on the inbound near the midcourt stripe. Central by 5, 65-60. We've seen the lead change hands a couple of times in the last few minutes here from Rustler Gymnasium. Playoff basketball. Winner moves on. Halverson triple, no good. And Marbury with a box out. Condi goes over his back, and it will be a foul on Preston.
I boxed out! You see my box out, Cruz? That's a great box out. What do you say? Go!
Sam, always chatter. Casper will host the Women's Junior College National Basketball Championships.
It's going to be imperative, I think, that Casper
nice dish
there, I think, for attendance sake.
Nice dish from Roberts to Marbury, who's now got 20. Rustlers have their largest lead of the evening now of 7, 67-60. 9 minutes left to play. Condi back out to Thong. Teshi keeps it on a bounce, finds Halverson. Cutters, Condi at the top of the key. Lefty on the way, triple is no good. And the rebound bounces into Marbury's hands. Central the chance to put this up near double-digit leads.
Interesting, they do it right after the lead was taken away from them.
Sparked by as Marbury goes down the lane. Runner is no good. Hayes, pretty good defense, and Halverson the rebound. It was sparked by that Lucas Ingles steal and jam, pretty much.
Yeah.
That kind of sparked the offense on for the Rustlers. Halverson drives, low block, left it short. Condi touched it, out of bounds. Central basketball. Well, he got past his man. He just left it short, and then Condi runs into the wall.
Yeah, the non-padded part of the wall.
Marbury was going to help him up, and Preston wants to stay down. And I'm not sure if our trainer is in the house. Preston is up, though. And he's going to come out. Halverson's going to come out as Merritt and Hayes come back into the ball game for Central. Resetting your Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Excuse me, your Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Big thanks to Fremont Therapy for being a sponsor as well. 8 minutes left to play. 67-60 the score. Central by 7 with a basketball. Hayes working on Marbury. Marbury in conversation as he and Hayes collide, and Marbury will gather the ball back in and score it. A lot of contact for nothing called either direction. 9-point game. Coach Ward letting the officials have it as Thong comes underneath, gets pushed too far underneath, rises up and misses, and Roberts will clear the rebound. Rustlers starting to assert a little dominance now here in this one as the higher seed. 7:25 left in the contest. Solomon, 3 is no good, didn't get a quite follow through all the way, and Thong the rebound.
That would have been huge too, I think.
Tessie back out. Drew Larson triple. Missed it. Good box out by Roberts to give Marbury a chance to get the rebound. 5 rebounds, 22 points for Sam Marbury. 7 rebounds, 20 points for Roberts, who takes a rifle and missed it. Boy, Sam with a great pass. Roberts did good just to hang on to that thing, and he'll get fouled, and we'll have the media timeout, the final one. As the foul goes on Merritt, that'll be number 4 on Coulter Merritt, but there's nothing at this point to save him for as Coach Ward talks with the official during this timeout. 6:56 left, 69-60 Rustlers. We'll finish it after this timeout. This is Rustler Basketball from Rustler Media.
All right, Pepsi-loving football fans, it's time we had a lesson in trash talk. You heard that right, trash talk. And I'm not talking about that stuff that happens on the field. What I'm talking about is trash, like literal trash. And it's the only thing that belongs in your garbage can. No, recycling might not be as thrilling as converting a 4th and long or taking a kickoff to the house. But I think we can all agree Hail Marrying plastic bottles into the recycling bin gets pretty close. And let's be honest, your spiral could use some work. So next time you're thinking about throwing that Pepsi Zero Sugar bottle away, just cap it back up and pretend you're down by 6 with the recycling bin wide open. Know the difference? Make a difference. Be a team player and recycle. Visit PepsiTrashTalk.com to learn more.
6:56 remaining on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard. Central is 69-60 advantage. Winner will take on most likely Trinidad State, who was up big on Lamar just a few moments ago, leading 63-47. They have 11 minutes left in their game.
Did CWC play them earlier this year on that road trip, or was that?
No, they played Trinidad.
Okay.
I believe, either at NJC or at McCook and lost by single, like 8, I think is what it was. Roberts misses both. That has been his struggle today, unfortunately.
Look where this game would be had he been hitting free throws as he normally did, as Jaden Warren hobbles back out towards his bench.
That's good news. I don't see him coming back in the way he's walking. Roberts 1 for 7 from the line today. Hayes gets too far underneath. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Central basketball.
He might have hit the prone Hayes underneath before it went out of bounds.
Hayes battling that ankle injury. He also broke his hand at the beginning of the year, missed a month of practice in the first 3 games of the season, did Colin Hayes. He's a freshman. He'll be back to be a thorn in other people's sides next year. Fun to watch Colin. He had 42 in a game earlier this year, I mentioned. 25 last time they played here.
Interesting to see who will get back next year on this team, too.
6:20 left. Roberts to Marbury. Hayes on him. Fires it over him. Skims off Merritt. Playing with 4 fouls. Has 11 rebounds. Hayes, pump fake on Marbury. Doesn't shoot it, though.
You know, each possession big right now for Northwest as they trail it by near double digits.
Yeah, got a stop on one end. Now need a bucket on the other end. Merritt pulls it back
might have
out.
dragged his back foot.
Twice, even. Maybe he did, but 8 to shoot. Find Hemi, really, but it's Larson that takes a triple and nails it.
He kind of opened the game that way, didn't he, hitting a couple of threes.
Larson has 13. Coach Ward burns a timeout. They've got plenty left. I think that's his first time out of the game that he's taken, in fact. 5:50 remaining. 69-63. Spring sports about ready to kick up here at Central Wyoming College. The rodeo team, the golf team will be back at it. I think the golfers head out this next week from Thursday. They'll golf Thursday, Friday.
Where do they go for early season golf?
Mostly south, Lamar-ish, Otero-ish, down in there. They will host an event in the later stages of April. Drew Schrock and the rodeo team will be getting back after it a week later. Coach Barlow is, and I say Coach Barlow, he may be the outdoor track coach this spring, as some kids running outdoor track, but not actually a coach in that position.
How are we going to do on the field events?
And esports is going, and Coach Kim Davis has a contingent of CWC volleyball players playing in beach volleyball.
I talked to a couple of them the other day about that, in fact. I meant to ask them where they're practicing to get beach volleyball, to get that down, because there's not really any indoor beaches here.
Well, they played indoor at a place called the Sandbar in Salt Lake. They're in.
How do you practice, though?
Yeah, well, the rodeo arena, the indoor
poison.
The indoor rodeo arena, perhaps, may be the more obstacles there, perhaps, as Marbury fadeaway 8 missed it. Merritt, the rebound, another stop for the Trappers. 12 rebounds for Coulter Merritt. It's a 2-possession game underneath Larson. Who's going to knock it out of bounds, as he and Marbury got tangled up, and Larson hit it himself after he lost it, and he knocks it out of bounds, and Central will get it back. Just a 2-possession game with 5:21 remaining.
It's definitely not the same there on the bench, because you see the players go by, as they go by Mr. Warren, and he's not giving him a 5 even. He's just sort of like, wow, I'm just...
Yeah, a lot of pain. Lob pass underneath. Roberts too far underneath. Solomon deep in the corner. Will get the bounce.
Roberts saves that play.
12 for Solomon on his 4th triple of the contest. Larson cutting, Merritt flush it down. That kid's 6'1". Did we mention that?
Well, his dad did to us, didn't he?
He's a heck of an athlete for Coach Ward, is Coulter Merritt. And a timeout called as Hayes and Hemi had De La Cruz locked up with nobody else to help out on the inbound.
It's weird. I always like to see our players do well, but I also find, satisfaction seeing Wyoming kids do well, because it's tough in Wyoming. It's a shorter season than most places that play high school basketball. And when you see a Merritt, we see an Engel, we see, it just gives you, I don't know, maybe a secondary good feeling.
Well, and you go to the ladies' side, Strauss and Bloom from Western Wyoming, and especially
they lived off them last year.
What they did last year as well. Coulter Merritt, a redshirt freshman. Lucas Engel is now coming back to the Rustler bench as well. And now Jade Warren's going to give him a high five as he comes back to the lineup, puts his arms around his teammates. And
our girls' block record here at CWC is by a Wyoming player and that record may never be touched.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And the number 2 is also a Wyoming player. Emily Sawyer, the Evanstonite, is there. You're looking at Lucas Engel, who has come back to the Rustler bench after spilling a lot of blood on this Rustler court just a few moments ago. Great job by Skylar, our director, Andy and Addie up here in the box. They are students in the new media degree here at Central Wyoming College and putting together the best in Region 9 and I would say a lot of other regions, the broadcast that our crew puts together, and just have to endure Joel and I gave him his gold watch, so just have to endure me.
Low, apparently.
Just have to endure me in the future, I guess. I don't know. 4:20 left. Central by 7. Roberts working on Larson. Spins in, puts it up, left it short, and Coulter Merritt just continues.
He missed that time, but I think he uses that, by being left-handed, that works to his advantage.
Merritt's going to go the distance. He'll score, and he will be fouled. So let's see. Big rebound games for Merritt. 15 twice, 13, 11, 10, 12, 10.
So he plays with fire out there as well.
He has 13.
Not in a bad way, but
yeah, he's too shy of his season-high rebounding numbers right now by my count. He has 20 points. He has 13 rebounds. His team is down 5, trying to make it a 4-point game, and does not. But Hayes with an offensive rebound. That was huge right there.
It's huge what they might do with it.
Right. Tessie Thong penetrates, pump fake, goes baseline. Hemi.
I wouldn't say that pass was intended for him.
Hemi fadeaway 8, missed it. Roberts tips the rebound and manages to grab it himself. 8 rebounds for Julian Roberts to go along with his 20 points. 5-point game now, 3:40 left. Solomon trying to get it back, does finally from De La Cruz. Marbury runs past Hayes and will flush it. Marbury has 24 as he took advantage of that hobbled ankle on Hayes and took him to the baseline and flushes it. Thong with the right side, couple of 2 big steps and he'll score. And we'll get a timeout from Coach Ward. It's back to a 5-point game with 3:16 left. Coach Ward down to 3 timeouts left. 3:16 remaining in this contest. Winner advances to the Region 9 men's tournament, and the loser will see their season come to an end. Trinidad with a 21-point lead on Lamar right now, 74-53 the score in that one. 6:48 left to play in Cheyenne, and LCCC has opened up an 11-point lead on the Mustangs, 77-66. Casper and Eastern Wyoming will play at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
You see one region being more dominant, or one side being more dominant than the other this year?
I think maybe just because of better competition, 1 through 6, the North has that advantage.
Which hasn't always been the case.
But the South is Western Nebraska, and you know what they are every year, and they get to host it. And Trinidad State won it last year and has been tops. So those 2, along with the 4 that come from the North, I think, have every opportunity. It's a 6-team race when it goes in next week. And that, I say that with not knowing who the winner of this is and not knowing who the winner of the Western LCCC game is.
Actually, no, you good. King, go middle. Juice.
Marbury directing traffic into the unsponsored crowd mic on the court. Gets it back. Full court pressure from the Trappers. Trying to trapper him at midcourt. He'll get it across the timeline. 3:05 remaining on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard.
You may have invented a word there.
De La Cruz, Marbury, 7 to shoot. Roberts baseline, left it short. And the rebound by Rodriguez Santana, who almost...
Yeah, that was great that he knew it was going to be falling, and he got that pass off before.
He has 9 rebounds. There's a foul on Solomon on Drew Larson, who comes trucking down the lane. And King will pick up number 2, and I have 7 team fouls on...
They've got 8.
Central, which is actually 8. And so it will put Drew Larson to the line. 1 in the bonus, down by 5, 2:39 remaining on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard.
How big if they can make some hay here with the clock stopped.
And he gets the first. 14 for Larson. Boy, Coulter Merritt 20 with 13 rebounds. Larson 14. Hemi 12. All of that in the first half. 9 for Colin Hayes. Stubbs has 6. Thong has 5. Both good by Larson. It's a 1-possession game with several possessions left at 2:39 in the ballgame. 74-71. 2 lead changes, 7 ties.
Interesting letting Marbury be the primary ball handler against the press the last couple of times.
Gets it back into the hands of the point guard, De La Cruz. Sam shovels it back. Lawrence doesn't shoot the 3 over Hayes. Instead, they'll have it taken away from behind. A jump ball, and stays Central. Boy, that was a premature whistle as far as held balls go in men's basketball, and the referee calls the whistle. And
Northwest might have a bit of a gripe there.
Hayes gets the arrow to switch, and they're saying, I think they're wondering whose possession arrow it really is, or are they wondering where the shot clock will be? If there's no change of possession, yeah, they're going to put the shot clock back at 9 for Central. So that was the discussion. The arrow will go back to Northwest now for the final 2:15.
This score very similar to the final score last time they played, 75-70.
Solomon with 3 on the shot clock, drains a 15-footer and a quick timeout.
And he doesn't shoot a lot of mid-range, really.
14 for Solomon as he knocks that one down. Couple of congratulations that I want to throw out. Number 1 is to Lou Sweet. She is the athletic director at Western Wyoming College. The Western Wyoming College wrestling team is back-to-back national champions.
Wow.
They won it last year, and they won it again this year. And then...
Northwest has wrestling, too, by the way.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going next. My son, Cade, as I mentioned, friends with Colin.
He's wrestling now?
In Teshi. No, his roommate, Aziz Fezaleyev, if I'm saying that right. Aziz is a back-to-back individual national champion from Northwest College. So,
well, I guess we know who gets which bunk if he wants it.
Yeah, he rules the roost, pretty much, I would think. 76-71 here, but yeah, big congratulations to the Region 9, the NJCAA national champions from Western Wyoming, back-to-back, and then Aziz.
I'm going to throw another one out there to Gillette College for bringing sports back. That's been a lot more interesting having this extra team.
And adding volleyball on top of it.
Yeah, and it would certainly be nice if Sheridan would bring it back as well. And have they determined for sure what the setup's going to be next year? Has that been drawn in ink?
Like the Region 18 thing?
Yeah.
I think that is actually dead from all intents and purposes.
I'm glad it is.
2 minutes left to play here. 76-71, Central by 5. Trappers with a basketball after the King Solomon shot clock beater a minute ago. Hemi down low to Merritt. Guns it over. Larson triple is good. Great offensive ball movement. Larson has 18.
So one Merritt an assist now to get those other numbers.
Exactly. Why not? Minute 40 left in a 2-point game. Solomon, Central has answered each bell that they've needed to, but Northwest has kind of chipped and crawled back in. Sam down the lane, they let him go as Merritt had to let him go to get that, avoid that 5th foul, and Marbury has 26.
Interesting, the Rustlers just have 1 timeout left at this juncture.
Northwest has 3 of those timeouts remaining. Hayes gets kind of in a double team. Larson, another triple, missed it. Hayes, the rebound, puts it back up and in. Great job by Colin Hayes, playing on a bad wheel and all. He's got 11. It's a 2-point game with 1:05 remaining in the contest.
Good to see this crowd that's here today. They're certainly getting their money's worth with this game.
National rankings, Salt Lake ranks 3rd. College of Southern Idaho ranks 25th. Nobody from Region 9 in the top 25, but Western Nebraska is getting votes. On the women's side,
I would see Gillette getting votes.
I would think so, but they aren't.
Huh.
CSI on the women's side, 15th. Casper, 16th. Salt Lake, 18th. NJC out of Region 9 South, ranking number 19 in the country, heading into this final week of the tournament. So I guess it's the first week of the playoff season.
Didn't Northwest Colorado bring back basketball mid-season, so they thought they weren't going to have it, and they actually did?
I have not checked on them. We usually see them that first month of the season, and then we don't, and I have not followed them at 1 minute, actually.
I have picked them up, followed them in other years, hoping they'll pick up that win somewhere, and they usually do, but
sometimes here. Appreciate everybody tuning in on the RustlerAthletics.com and the CWC YouTube, and hopefully you've got some added technology we'll throw at you next season, possibly at home and on the road for Rustler Athletics. Minute left to play in the ball game. Central by 2.
That's kind of dangerous how he dribbled at the line.
Hayes guarding De La Cruz. Runs past him, takes it all the way, and there's going to be an offensive foul coming as Drew Larson saw that from a long ways away, and he steps in front of De La Cruz and gets the charge. Number 3 on De La Cruz, turnover number 7 on the Rustlers.
Yeah, De La Cruz kind of hung himself up in the air, and that was his undoing.
50 seconds left to play. Northwest a chance to...
I really have no idea how many possessions that is left with 50 seconds.
Take the lead or tie the ball game. Coming down to the wire on the final home game of the season with a playoff spot in the Region 9 tournament on the line.
I just barely got across the 10-second line there.
Hayes, baseline, Larson, pump fake, throws it up and is fouled. And he'll have a chance to tie it from the line.
I thought he might have been better served by passing it underneath to his teammate. And what was that, Merritt there?
Beeman gets the call, number 2 on Bradley. And they're going to let him shoot free throws all by his lonesome with trappers down there.
I don't think he'll do that on the second shot.
They break up the Rustler huddle. They're going to give delay a game warning to Coach Schmidt. Referee said you've got to have 2 players here. And so they've given
the first warning we've seen of that. That's only 2 behind the 3-second violations.
Free throw is good. It's a 1-point game. Larson with 19.
Larson part of that Fort Collins, Colorado group.
Gets both and we're tied. Larson.
You can't run out the clock completely, but you can come close.
With a new season high for Drew Larson with 20. He and Merritt each with 20. Shot clock a second ahead of the game clock at 17. Going to see that on your screen on Rustler Athletics. Marbury backed into the corner by Milton Rodriguez Santana. 8 seconds left. Marbury scoots it back. Solomon, 4 seconds. Corner, Beeman, triple, hits the side of the backboard. Merritt from 3-quarter court, and we'll play extra basketball. They want a shot clock violation is what they want with seconds on the clock, and I'm not so sure they shouldn't get it because the ball hit the backboard and did not hit the rim.
That would give them about 1.2 seconds or something like that, I think.
1 point something, and that's what Coach Ward is lobbying for. Are they going to say it's overtime, or are they going to give them? I think they're going to come confer with the other official.
And how can they review it? They don't have,
they don't have us.
Yeah.
Shot clock violation as it hit the side, and there should be 1 seconds left for Northwest.
1 in frames.
1 in frames is right. The 3 officials conferring in front of the bench, so we'll either see trapper ball with 1 point something, or we'll see overtime, and we'll put 5 minutes back on the clock and play some extra basketball.
The Northwest coach is intently watching the officials rather than addressing their team right now.
Team addressing themselves right now. I agree with Coach Ward and his assistant coach on that, to be honest with you. I do think that it should be a shot clock violation, and they should have seconds. Referee with drink in hand is going to come over and talk with Coach Ward. Big thanks. Jacob Price, his assistant.
I wonder if they're just saying, hey, we just can't check it. I'm sorry. You know,
Rustler's ready to play regardless of what happens. He's going to come over to the bench.
And there's 5 minutes on the clock now.
He had put that 5 seconds up. Or that 5 minutes
early then, huh?
Previous, yes. Well, we will play overtime, so no extra time on the clock.
You know, things you got to consider now, the 4 fouls on Merritt now and things like that, like who's in foul trouble, the short bench for CWC.
De La Cruz
a number of things.
And Marbury with 3 each as we head to the overtime.
That wasn't the classic toss-up there.
78 apiece as we head to the extra frame, and Rodriguez Santana gets fouled. King Solomon gets foul number 3. Central 30 for 60 on the game, 53%, 6 of 12 from the free throw line. How about Northwest? 11 of 13 from the line, 85% today.
And figured that would happen.
The announcer jinx put on Milton Rodriguez Santana.
It'll be a tough loss for whichever team does come up short in this game.
Central's largest lead, 9. Northwest's largest lead was 4. Now they have a lead of 1 on the second free throw by Milton Rodriguez Santana. We're in overtime on the Fremont Chevy scoreboard from Central Wyoming College. Winner will go to
Casper.
They'll
go through Casper.
They'll go through Casper. Shot misses, and Rodriguez Santana the rebound. Wait, how many times do you see a team just take over in overtime sometimes?
Yeah, you'll see an overtime game, and it's a 12-point win sometimes.
Right, and it starts like this right there when you get a defensive stop. Hemi down low, Merritt working on reverse, good.
Oh, that was a nice-looking shot.
22 for Coulter Merritt. And it's a 3-point Northwest advantage. De La Cruz going to run it across the timeline. Finds Solomon at the far side hash. 4 minutes left in the overtime. Marbury pump fake the 3. Drives, runs past his man, and puts it in. 28 for Marbury. 81-80. Trappers the lead in the basketball. 3:40 time remaining. Hemi, triple, good. It's a 2-possession Northwest lead.
He's been kind of quiet in the second half,
That's
really.
his first basket of the second half. But
he's been quiet, really quiet in the second half, I believe.
Actually came 20 minutes after halftime, 22 and a half minutes after halftime. Solomon, back right side corner, Marbury, the answer. It's good, he's got 31, and the lead is back down to 1. Big Hemi 3, but a bigger Marbury triple.
Probably depends on who you ask.
I'm wearing orange and black today. Hemi gets free, lays it off glass and in.
De La Cruz looked around like saying, somebody should have told me the pick was coming. Is the spread, my thought.
Rustlers dodge a bullet, throwing that inbounds to Marbury. I don't know if he was ready for it, but they managed to save the possession.
Overtime halfway through right now.
De La Cruz sets his feet, drains the triple, and ties us up. Boy, big shot after big shot by both of these squads at the end of the season and the end of the game.
Yeah, point guards exchanging there.
2 minutes and 15 seconds left in overtime number 1, tied at 86. Merritt back up top. Rodriguez Santana, and a blocking foul on De La Cruz, as he took a hard shot as well. That'll be number 4 on Lawrence.
CWC Partisans not happy about that call at all. Especially the CWC women's basketball team out there.
Rodriguez Santana, 1 for 2 in the overtime from the free throw line. And now 2 for 3. 87-86, Trappers, 2:08 left. Second one. No. Roberts, the rebound. Rustlers will bring it across the timeline. Triple. King missed it. Merritt, a rebound.
And then big call right there.
Tell me what happened. I was writing stats
He
down.
tried to make space after he got the rebound through the elbow kind of into Roberts, and that'll be foul number 5 on Merritt, and that's not a player easy to replace. And that is his 5th personal foul. What a way to go out, though.
14 rebounds, 22 points on a monster game from Coulter Merritt. It'll be Central ball out of bounds after the turnover. And he's going to take his allotted time, and now we'll take a timeout. Or will he? Nope, Stumps will check in his place.
I said that when the overtime started, that now you got to worry about the foul situations. Time has been extended.
Yeah, and Merritt checking out. Lob pass. Larson with a flush.
Boy, that you don't need either. Well, you get Merritt to foul out, and immediately after that, you throw the ball away to a fast break.
You turn it over into a one-on-none immediately out of that. And it's a 3-point game with 1:51 left and a timeout called by the Trappers. We'll step aside with them. We'll be back after this. This is Rustler basketball. Trappers by 3, 1:51 left. Rustler basketball. And they just rang the buzzer, so we're not going anywhere. It was just a 30-second timeout.
I'm just thinking in your Merritt here, you realize I'm on the bench, and my season's going to either continue or end, and I'm not in the game.
Exactly.
You know, hats off to both these teams today. Both have played hard from the opening tip.
LCCC has defeated Western 90-81. And LCCC will advance to the tournament. And Trinidad has beaten the Lamar Lopes 88-70.
Pass by Marbury. Sound Roberts underneath by himself for the flush.
22 for Roberts. 90 seconds left at a 1-point Trapper advantage.
But almost a throwaway that time by the Trappers, who have the 1-point lead with that amount of time.
The Rustler crowd getting involved in this one now. Hemi dishes. Hayes leans in, fires it up. Missed it. Larson will get the rebound and a foul on Roberts.
I think that was closer to the jump ball,
right,
than the jump ball that was called earlier, you know, but or the.
You can hear him say jump ball as they wanted that. Instead, it's going to be a foul on Julian Roberts with 1:07 left.
I thought there was some concurrence on your part there.
There was a lot of concurrence, in fact. Larson calmly knocks down a new season high of 21. 1:07 left to make it a full one-possession lead. Second is also good.
And he averages just under double figures at 9.6 a game.
Trappers will spend one of their 2 remaining timeouts with 1:07 left in the ball game. Now we'll get it in. We'll take a break. We'll come back after this. This is Rustler basketball. Down 3 with the basketball, 1:07 left.
If you want the latest road conditions while traveling without having to stop to view your smartphone, the Wyoming Department of Transportation has an app for that. Download WYDOT's 511 app for Android and iOS smartphones and use the hands-free, eyes-free feature to safely get the latest road conditions and traffic alerts. Driving in winter conditions can be challenging. Be prepared by using the 511 app to get vital information read to you while you concentrate on driving. Download it today at wyoroad.info.
Big thanks to Porter's Mountain View Supply. They have been our pregame sponsor. Buckle Up for Life Wyoming and YDOT, our halftime sponsor. Fremont Chevrolet, our scoreboard sponsor. And coming up will be the Bailey Enterprises postgame show from Central Wyoming College. 107 left in the overtime. 91-88 Northwest. With a 3-point lead, Rustlers with the basketball. They'll have to go full court. You were going to say before the timeout.
I forgot. Okay. I'm curious, okay, were you going to press outside to keep the 3 away and maybe give an easier chance for a 2 right now, or how do you play this defensively? You got a full minute to go exactly right now.
De La Cruz, Solomon, Roberts, as De La Cruz partially blocked. Hayes blocked the 3. Stubbs ends up with it.
Well, he seemed almost like a reluctant shooter there when he took it. So now you can take off about half of these 40 seconds.
Yeah, great defensive play by Colin Hayes.
Any point right here.
Marbury ends up climbing on Stubbs and getting his 4th personal foul.
Remember, Stubbs is the player who started this, but does not play a whole lot, so I don't really have a whole lot of numbers on him. I do have him here somewhere, though.
Cruz Stubbs, a freshman, 68% free throw shooter.
Well, probably hasn't made a bigger one than that.
Yeah, he's 11 of 16 on the year, and he makes the first. 92-88, 34 seconds left. Now it's a 5-point Trapper advantage.
And give the young players some credits.
Yeah. Gets the start today. De La Cruz to Marbury. 28 seconds left. 22 to shoot. Marbury triple. No, Hemi the rebound. And he's fouled immediately by Solomon.
Boy, a realization, I think, coming over the crowd right now.
20 seconds left and a 5-point Trapper lead, and they've got the basketball at the free throw line.
And I think Hemi is probably a player you don't want to foul.
Engel never returned. Warren never returned after their injuries.
Roberts did.
Hemi free throw is good. It's maxed it out to a complete 2-possession game and maybe even 3 on this one. Hemi with 18.
88.3% free throw shooter, by the way.
And he gets both. And Coach Ward with a 30-second timeout.
Wow, we could have 2 upsets here this first day. Interesting, too, because we know how much Brad Schmidt loves this team. This is a team I don't know there's a team he liked any more than this group that he's got here.
20 seconds remaining in overtime. 95-88.
But what a game. I mean, it's been a great game for both teams. And probably if you look at who led this game, CWC has probably led more than 30 of the 40 minutes.
Yeah, time of possession of the lead for sure. 5 lead changes, 10 ties in this ball game. His ankle hurts. Come on, he says. Marbury's going to go the distance. Score it, and 1.
That's the last thing, if you're Northwest, you want to do is foul. You'd probably be willing to give up the layup with 5 seconds to go.
3rd personal on Colin Hayes. Marbury with 2 and a chance to make it an and 1.
Another big game for him.
33 for Sam Marbury. He's asking if he should fire it off the rim.
Which isn't that easy to do, by the way, when you're used to shooting.
And instead, he'll knock the free throw down. And Central will call a timeout. 15.5 left as Central got a quick 3 points on the 3-point play on the mistake by the Trapper defense. 95-91, Coach Schmidt drawing up in the locker in the the timeout huddle.
The inbound is huge here. That's probably where you have your best chance to get the steal and not foul. He's on the inbound pass itself.
Great audience watching on RustlerAthletics.com on the CWC YouTube page. Appreciate you tuning in.
It's kind of cool to see Sarah Watson in the crowd, too, because she'd helped us for years with, giving me rosters before they were out and about and things like that. She's been a great help, in part, and Steve Barlow, what he's done through the years with us as well.
95-91, Trappers will inbound under their own window. leading 95-91 with 15.5 seconds left. LCCC knocked off Western 90-81. Trinidad beating Lamar 88-70, but if you're a Central fan, it might be a moot point here in the next.
You can run the baseline, and you can send a player long here, too.
They'll get it in bounds to...
I might have gone long.
Near Steele.
Boy.
Well, they had the trap with Stubbs in the corner and Roberts and Marbury on him, but he managed to get the ball away, and it got knocked out of bounds.
They also could have gone long because there was a player wide open down there.
12 seconds left, 3.5 ticked off. Hemi's going to get it in the corner, and he'll be fouled immediately. 10.3 left.
And what could they do once they got the ball in? That's all they had. That's what they had to do.
De La Cruz will end his Rustler career at home. No, it's just his fourth. Excuse me. I thought
he's liable to end it here shortly. Anyhow,
I thought that was 5 on him, and I even had 1 foul missing somewhere else. So Hemi to the line. 19 for Will Hemi. Again, he's playing on an injured leg as well, and he'll miss the free throw.
And what he did in the first half was huge, I think. I think that game could have been a 10-point advantage at halftime. Buzz up Hemi, like I said, beating the shot clock repeatedly.
He misses both. 8 seconds left.
But there's no such thing as a full. Well, there is such a thing.
Marbury is fouled, and he will shoot 1 in the bonus, as that's just the 9th team foul with 4.7 seconds left.
Well, you got to make the first one, then hit the second one so hard that it bounces back so you can get it out for a 3, or instead of getting a rebound, tip it, knock it back out.
4 personal fouls on Colin Hayes with 11 points today. Marbury free throw is good. 35 for Sam.
Here's the interesting one now, which if he doesn't make the first one, wouldn't have been that interesting.
3-point game, 95-92, 4.7 seconds left, and at the line, Sam Marbury knocks it down. He's got 36, and Central will burn their final timeout of the contest. A full timeout. We'll come back and finish this one with him in 4.7 seconds. 95-93, Trappers the lead in the basketball when we come back.
Rustler Sports On Air are brought to you in part by Porter's Supply of Riverton, offering grills, spas, fire pits, gas stoves, wood-burning stoves, and Green Mountain pellets. They are located at 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton. Details can be found online at portersmvs.com. Thanks to Porter's Supply for the sponsorship of tonight's pregame show.
County10.com supports this Rustler radio broadcast. At County 10, their mission is to connect the communities that make up Fremont County. Whether you're looking for updated community news, the local events calendar, up-to-date job listings, the details about new businesses in town, the Student of the Week spotlight, or just want to watch local athletic events, County10.com is working to keep Fremont County communities connected.
4.7 remaining in overtime. Northwest will send out Hayes, Rodriguez, Santana, Stubbs, Hemi, and Larson. Central has Roberts defending the inbound with Solomon, Marbury, De La Cruz, and Beeman. Larson gives it to Hayes. He will be fouled with 3.7 left. Hemi just missed 2 a minute ago. Santana's missed 2 in the overtime. They're 6 of 10 free throw shooting in the OT.
I think they kind of switched to this is the band they prefer to shoot them right now, which is odd. I would have, like him, I said 88.3, which has gone down just a bit.
Hayes is an 80% free throw shooter. He's hit 90 out of 112 on the year.
That's when you've got those options of 80-plus free throw shooters on the floor.
Thong comes back in for Stubbs. Free throw, good. This one's the bigger of the 2, essentially.
It's the sealer, if you can make it.
The clincher. Got it. Marbury going to have to let it fly from just inside the logo.
And I think he tried to lean in, hoping somebody would maybe foul him as he put that up.
The Northwest Trappers battled and injured and took on a Central team that They themselves are now battled and injured. And the Northwest Trappers come to Central and win a 97-93 victory and will advance to the Region 9 tournament next week. They do so winning for the 5th time in conference play. They are now 14-17 overall, and the Central season ends at 16-15, the 6th season for head coach Brad Schmidt. Wow. In overtime, Northwest 97, Central 93. Marbury and Hayes talking at midcourt at the conclusion of this one.
Yeah, for some time.
Head coach Brad Schmidt will join us in the post-game show. You've been watching Rustler basketball. The final again, Northwest 97, Central 93 in overtime. And we'll be back after this timeout. You've been watching and listening to Rustler basketball from Rustler Media.
Support of Rustler Athletics comes from Sutherland's on North Federal Boulevard in Riverton. Whether you have a minor repair or a large project, take advantage of Sutherland's many rewards. Sign up for our emails and monthly gifts. Save even more with the Sutherland's Friends of the Family Plus consumer credit card. Apply online or see a store associate for complete details. You can order online for in-store or curbside pickup at Sutherland's.com. Sutherland's of Riverton, helping you build it better since 1917.
Hey there, farmers and future gardeners. Are you ready to get your hands dirty and learn the ins and outs of small farm management? Central Lyman College is now accepting applications for their crop production practicum. Picture this, a 6-month hands-on program nestled in the picturesque Alpine Science Institute in the mountains above Lander. Here you'll get your green thumbs ready as you delve into all aspects of farm management on our half-acre vegetable farm. From planting seeds in the spring to the rewarding harvest in the fall and even putting the garden to bed for the winter. This course is perfect if you're passionate about growing veggies for yourself or the community. No prior experience is necessary, and we have partial scholarship funding available. The class starts on April 5th, so don't wait. Call the Lander Center, 307-332-3394, or email landercenter@cwc.edu to learn more and secure your spot in this exciting opportunity. Don't miss out on this chance to grow your passion and skills in farming. Apply now and let's get growing together.
This is the Bailey Enterprises post-game show. Final tonight in overtime. It was Northwest coming to Central and winning 2 out of 3 this season against the Rustlers. 1 at home and 1 at Central. 97-93 in overtime.
That is only their 3rd win on the road this year. They were 2-8 going into this game, so...
Final scoring numbers in this one for the home team. Sam Marbury, 36 points in the loss tonight for Sam, playing an extra 5 minutes. Julian Roberts had 22 with 8 rebounds. De La Cruz had 11. Solomon had 14 in the ball game. Boy, and the rebounding numbers really ballooned in the second half. 46 to 28.
I think Mr. Merritt is largely responsible for some of that.
And looking, is this... Yeah, 44 to 22 is what Kylan's stats had. So I had 46-28 in the rebounding, and big advantage there for the Trappers as they get the win here today. Beeman had 3 points to add. Tay Hollins had 3. Lucas Engel had the jam that kind of spurred his team out in front for a little while, but then the Trappers end up taking control of it in overtime. For the Northwest Trappers, Drew Larson, 24 points, new season high for him. Coulter Merritt had 22, new season high for him.
Before fouling out.
And he also had 14 rebounds. He didn't get a play in the overtime, did he?
No.
Yeah, he had 2 points, a rebound, and a foul. Fouled out in overtime.
Okay, that's right, because it was like
right.
2.5
minutes left, exactly. 22 points, 14 rebounds. Will Hemme, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Milton Rodriguez Santana scored only 4 points, but he had 10 rebounds.
Wow, it's hard. I didn't notice that one. Yeah.
In that game as well. Colin Hayes, 13 points, 3 rebounds. Larson added 5 rebounds. Halverson had a bucket. Thong had 5 points. Santana had 4. And in overtime, the victory to The visitors, Northwest winning at 97-93.
You know, as you run down those totals, you know, somebody had 2 points or 4 points. You got to forget how important those are in a game like this, because those 4 points could have been the difference in the game, for example.
Final shooting numbers in tonight's ball game. Central, 8 of 19. Actually, they go 9 for 15 from the free throw line, 60%. 9 of 15 from the... Well, I'm looking at all kinds of weird things here. I've got to work on.
It's a pretty good reward for these Northwest fans that came down.
Right. And there was a plethora of them.
That's a good group of them, really.
Plethora of them.
And I always point out, Northwest is a little bit different as the junior colleges, it seems like. And, you know, they always, you know, that's why it's tough to play up there, I think.
Central, 10 of 23 from the arc, 44%. Northwest, 12 of 26, 46%. Northwest would hit 21 of 27 free throws, and that was one of the points of emphasis that Coach Ward talked about. He's like, we need to be a little more aggressive and get to the free throw line today, and they did. 27.
Of course, some of those were fouls at the end where we were trying to foul too, you know.
They were 8 of 12 from free throw line in the overtime. Central for the game, 9 of 15.
By the way, you were talking about injuries too, and then Preston Condi didn't come back either after he collided with the non-padded part of the end court.
Yeah, definitely. So this is your Bailey Enterprises post-game show. We're going to give one more break and see if we get the coach up here after talking to his team.
Yeah, probably an interesting chat at the end of the year, which we don't begrudge him at all.
Northwest wins at 97-93 in overtime.
Rustler Sports On Air are brought to you in part by Porter's Supply of Riverton, offering grills, spas, fire pits, gas stoves, wood-burning stoves, and Green Mountain pellets. They are located at 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton. Details can be found online at portersmvs.com. Thanks to Porter's Supply for the sponsorship of tonight's pregame show.
At Fremont Chevy in Riverton, being in the community isn't just how we do business, it's our way of life. We think of our team, our customers, and our local community as one big family. For us, being community partners is more than just a source of great pride. It gives us a deep sense of responsibility. We are excited to bring you the scoreboard for Rustler Athletics on Rustler Media. See Fremont Chevy online and at North Federal Boulevard in Riverton.
Support of Rustler Athletics comes from Sutherland's on North Federal Boulevard in Riverton. Whether you have a minor repair or a large project, take advantage of Sutherland's many rewards. Sign up for our emails and monthly gifts. Save even more with the Sutherland's Friends of the Family Plus consumer credit card. Apply online or see a store associate for complete details. You can order online for in-store or curbside pickup at Sutherlands.com. Sutherland's of Riverton, helping you build it better since 1917.
97-93 in overtime in favor of the Northwest Trappers. And we'll let him put the headset on here real quick as Brad Schmidt has joined us in the Bailey Enterprises postgame show. And I'm not even sure where to start other than just, I guess, turn it over to you, Coach.
Well, sir, I'll start. First off, you two guys are amazing at what you do. John, you're the best color guy and any level of basketball I've heard. Joel, you're an awesome sidekick. You're a great neighbor.
See, a better neighbor or a better sidekick?
Just because I like this snowman that he has in the Christmas season.
I just want to thank everybody that helps us, put on an actual basketball season. I want to thank my guys for sticking together, through the course of the year. We started the year with 15 guys. We finished the season with 10. We've had some guys that were part of this as big-time minutes guys and players, and, we lost those guys at different times throughout the year. We lost a couple other, key guys that were part of the program. And, as a coach, I just feel like I've never done a good enough job here. And it's something that, I reflect on a lot, and I don't know what the answer is. But I've enjoyed coaching this group of men through all the ups and downs that we've had all year, and it's disappointing that it's over. But there's a lot of great memories. There's going to be a lot of great stories. The nice thing for these guys, and it's always hard for me talking to the players after the game too. it's not the end of their career. That's the one thing about this level that is kind of a blessing, is that when, you lose your last game of the season, your career is not over for the sophomores, where, at the 4-year level it is for those seniors. But it's always a weird feeling when it comes to a close.
I'm going to rebut one of the things you said there, in the fact that you haven't done a good enough job. And I think at resources and everything else that is so much behind the scenes of what goes into it, and why I've been pushing the Rustler 500 so much to get more scholarship money to do that thing. But wins and losses aside, me knowing you for the last 6 years and the family man that you are, and how that translates to your players and watching them grow up and be young men and everything else, I think you've done a hell of a job.
Well, I appreciate it, John. I was telling one of my buddies the other day, I said, I'm an elite dad, and I take a lot of pride in that. And, I'm a good husband. I'm probably an average college coach, but, I try to influence these young guys by how I operate my life. And what hurts me is sometimes I don't feel like that's reciprocated for how I operate. So that can be difficult.
Well, I know how you're going to go to bat for these kids, our sophomores, because you always do that, seeing how if you can help them land somewhere, And I know you've talked, too, about this is maybe one of your favorite groups, if not your favorite group that you've ever coached.
To be determined on that. We've gone through some turmoil over the last month and a half, and it's been incredibly stressful for me. It's been incredibly stressful for the guys. I really do like a lot of the players on the team, but we lost a little bit of our mojo late in the year, and same thing. As a head coach, and you're recruiting the players and you're building the culture, you got to look yourself in the mirror and reflect on, well, what am I doing and what can I do better? And that's where things rest.
How is Lucas? Did he lose teeth in that exchange? There was as much blood as I've ever seen on a basketball court.
That's the really sad thing about how the game turned out. I mean, losing's one thing, but we needed stops late in the game, and two of my best defenders and two sophomores are both out. Jaden Warren and Lucas Engel. And we just couldn't get stops, and that's all we really needed to do. We needed to get stops, and we needed to rebound. Well, those are two of our toughest guys and two of our better rebounders in tight spots, and we couldn't go to those guys, and I think that really impacted the outcome of the game. And I feel bad for those guys because they're elite team dudes, and I didn't have access to them, and it hurt us as a team.
And I think you got to give some credit to them, too. They took advantage of that situation.
The buzzer beaters by Hemi beating the shot
three
clock
of those in the first half.
3 or 4 times. And
I would like to say hats off to the Northwest guys, but I have one of my best sophomores shooting 85% in region, goes 1 for 7 from the free throw line. We're up 7. King misses a dunk. Lawrence Dela Cruz missed 2 or 3 layups. I would agree Northwest guys made some plays, but the reality is if we even make a couple more free throws or 1 or 2 of those layups, late in the game, instead of it being 5 points, it's still at 10. And there's just really no pressure on us. But as I've said, this time of year, man, it's the players got to make plays. There wasn't really anything late coaching-wise that I reflect on outside of I just didn't have access to guys that could have helped us get stops and get rebounds.
I appreciate you coming up every time and let me stop you in practice, and
or me just come up to visit you in your office as I do on occasion.
Text and Snapchat and everything else we do. I definitely appreciate your time, and especially coming up here today.
Yeah, man, I've loved getting to know you guys and the memories that we've made and all the chit chat that we've had on campus. And yeah, man, it's a tough little bit here as we wind down the year, but thanks to all the fans and everybody that's tuned in and all the parents that tune in, and the support for this program has been outstanding. And I'm going to miss some of these dudes quite a bit.
This was one of our better years of crowds I felt this year, I thought, too. We got winning quite a bit second semester, which helped. I think, first semester, it's so hard to get games here. That's another thing people outside of living here and haven't sat in my seat don't understand how hard it is to even schedule a 30-game schedule with opponents. And, everybody asks me, well, why are you playing all these Salt Lakes and CSIs and Snows of the world? Who are we going to play? Who are you going to go play?
Right.
please, somebody come tell me that answer. I would like to know, because I've sat in this seat for 6 years and I haven't figured it out. And I know this, man. I've been authentic to the core. That's never changed since I've sat in this seat. And I've never ducked any smoke, and I never will.
We talked about that earlier this year. In fact, like how when you'd play a team that had about the same record as you, how the schedules were so different. The two teams that were playing.
Yeah. A lot of coaches that will schedule some phony opponents, and that's fine. That's part of this level, and I get it. But that's never been Coach Schmidt.
We'll talk postseason accolades for individuals and stuff next week. Brad, thanks for coming up.
Thanks, guys.
You bet. Head coach Brad Schmidt of the CWC Rustlers. Final count here tonight. 97-93 in overtime in favor of the of the Northwest Trappers as they will move on. They will take on Trinidad State. They'll do that at 1 o'clock and lift the lid, if you will, Joel Kindle, on the...
That's the Rich Berkhamshaw one, actually.
Region 9, Mike Newman giving us a wave. Gillette will take on the winner of Otero and North Platte. Casper Eastern winner will take on the winner of NJC McCook. Western Nebraska gets a bye and will take on LCCC at 7 o'clock in the first round. The women's tournament will go on in Casper, and neither tournament having a Central Wyoming College representative, unfortunately. So
going to be a lot of ifs, I think, for whatever team lost this game. I think there were a lot of things that both teams did well. An exciting game, certainly, but I think both teams, whoever lost, would say if we would have just done this or this or this, as Coach was talking about.
I don't want it to end, especially if, in fact, this is the last time you and I sit together and yap and
already did that
broadcast a game. But if it is, thank you again, Joel Kindle.
Hey, thank you so much. I've appreciated all of it.
Thanks to Amanda.
Except for the time your dad sat between us at a baseball game. That was difficult.
Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff and the new media crew, Andy, Addie, and Skylar today for their part. And thanks to you for watching and listening to Rustler Basketball. For Joel Kindle, I'm John Gabrielson. This has been a presentation of Rustler Media. Northwest wins it 97-93 in overtime.
That concludes the Bailey Enterprises postgame show. This broadcast has been brought to you in part by Porter's Mountain View Supply, Buckle Up for Life, Wyoming, Bailey Enterprises, and Fremont Chevy of Riverton. Also by Admiral Beverage and Pepsi Cola, Fremont Therapy, Myers Gambles, County 10, the Sutherland Lumber Company, Wind River Cares, Gales Carpet One, and Altitude Home Interiors. And by the Wind River Casino. Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff and the new media degree students from Central Wyoming College and engineer Francis Obakoya. This has been a presentation of Central Wyoming College and Rustler Media.
This is KCWC FM.